What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here for episode 7 of Posed Up. I'll just quickly address everybody here. Thanks for being here, guys, already. I know Big Collector, you're already there. Thanks, mate. Docinator, thanks for being here, mate. JC, also, thanks for being here, brother. But this one's a special one for me, guys. Today, our special guest, the Australian Batman himself, Keola, Neo, whatever you want to call him, Justin's Collection, the legend. Welcome to the channel, my friend. Thanks for being here.
Hello. Thanks for having me. What an intro. What an intro. I'll take it. Australian Batman. Yeah. I've been called worse, so I'll take it. Thank you.
You are the Australian Batman. And that's why I thought fitting for today we should do Batman.
Of course. Yeah. Yours is looking a lot more dynamic than I think the cape definitely helps. So just tip right off the bat. Wide capes are great for adding a little bit more of a dynamic flair. And lighting. I like your blue highlight there. That looks good.
I appreciate it, mate. Yeah, it's if people could see the setup from the other side, it looks like a nightmare. I've got boxes and things everywhere like all over the place. And then it's actually quite hot.
Oh yeah.
These lights are bright, man. Holy moly! Like I'm sweating already. We haven't even started. So yeah, apologies anyone if you see sweat coming out everywhere. I'm warm. We are in Australia, though. This is an Australian tandem episode today. So
I think this is the first time I've ever been on another Australian channel. I've streamed with Cosplay Chris, but that was for CollectorCon. So I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've ever been on another Aussies channel. So that's something.
Hell yeah.
Something to be proud of.
We're taking over. Yeah, we're taking over. We might be in prison down here, but we're taking over. We got this. We're coming back.
Damn right.
Oh, mate. Well, thanks for being here. It's a bit of a different time for me because normally I have to be up super early or to be on someone's show generally. So it's nice to do it a little bit later, which is good.
Yeah, the US streams can get a little bit like that, can't they? There's one stream called Fully Articulated that I like to come on, but I've been struggling because it's at 7 o'clock in the morning, which means I need to get up before 7. And normally that would be okay, but when I'm recording and I'm answering comments, etc., I usually operate on US time. So I'll be up until 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. So that means I'm only getting like an hour, 2 hours of sleep, which isn't really great for anyone.
That's not good.
Yeah. So
it can be tough to do that constantly.
It can be very tough. And people are like, oh, Justin, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning for work. I'm like, yeah, okay, but you've probably gone to bed at some point before that. So
that's right.
I am trying to get on that show more, though. We'll see.
When you told me about that, how late you work too, I'm like, you're going to bed when I'm waking up, but I'm also in bed at like 9 o'clock at night. So I'm like, because I get up at like 4:35, I'm always in bed by 9. That's past my bedtime after that. So you're getting all your best work done while I'm sleeping. Pretty much.
Yeah. Exactly.
Have you been in a routine like that for like a while? Like, how do you is that something you've been doing forever or?
It's only usually when like during the lockdown period when my wife was working from home. During the day it's hard to get a lot of filming stuff done because if you think about it, you wake up and then you've got to eat, and then usually my wife hasn't eaten, so we need to get something to eat together, and then there's about 3,000,001 things that you've got to do around the house, and then it gets to 2, 3 o'clock, and then the packages come at 5 p.m., which is already really late. So that means I'm starting to film at 5 p.m. and then somewhere in between there's dinner. And then I've got to upload it, which could take an hour depending on how big the file is. Or sometimes if I stuff it up like quarter scale Mando, I've got to upload it twice and then it takes even longer.
I didn't notice either, by the way. I didn't notice the voiceover.
Good.
When I was
very, very good.
I didn't notice. So
excellent. I use the same mic, and I literally wrote down word for word everything I said in the clip.
Nice.
So it should be unnoticeable compared to the rest of it. So I'm glad that you didn't.
Couldn't tell. So it was well done, kind sir. Professional. Very done. Very well done.
I can't believe that happened. So what a stupid. I can't believe I did that. Oh well, doesn't matter. It's solved now.
When I first did a video, mate, I think I messaged you ages ago. I was trying to upload a video and it was like taking 2 days and it was still saying like uploading. And I'm like, does this normally happen? Like, what the heck is going on? Like 2 days to process or whatever. Since then though, no issues. It generally takes like, 8 to 10 hours.
Sometimes it lies with the processing. So on your studio, you know how it's got the little flashing things that say 4K and HD?
Yeah.
Even though they are still flashing, try clicking on the little link above it. Usually it's already processed and it's just lying. I don't know why that's the case. but it usually takes, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes for me to get to 4K. So, and those things are still flashing until the next day. So it's lying about it. I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know why. But
Bloody YouTube, get me on this.
Yeah.
All right, I'll definitely do that.
Come on,
Because
YouTube.
before I was planning, I'm like, okay, if I finish a video on Friday, I'm like, I'm not uploading it till like Sunday night because I was looking at that, believing that's what it was. So silly.
Just try it out
Slow
and
myself
see if it's prepared. If it's already up and ready to go, then you're good.
Hell yeah.
Let it rip.
Let it rip. I'll be letting it rip, that's for sure. Awesome. Look, we've got a few more people joining us too, which is good.
Hey.
Thanks for being here, guys. KG's joined the chat. What's up, KG? Thanks for being here, brother.
Hello.
He's
KG.
coming in with me and Lael on Sunday, which should be fun.
Oh,
to do some Spidey posing, which would be pretty good. I'm a bit scared of posing with Lael with Spidey because he is a master with Spidey.
Those two, you're going up against those two. Those two are some killer poses. I've seen KG's Spidey poses. He pops them in on the side of the corner there during the live. He just subtly just slides them in. You know, I've seen him. KG, I've seen your poses. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's leveling up. He's definitely leveling.
Oh, he's
up,
leveled
that's
up
for sure.
Yeah.
We're watching you, KG. We know you're coming. Riley, thanks for being here, mate. Legend. Hello. Enrico, thanks as well, mate, for being here. Legends. 6-star reviews. What's up? Thanks for being here, mate. Awesome. Now, mate, I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. I mean, we've talked a few times already, but one thing I've been wanting to find out from everybody I chat to, I guess, is how you got into collecting, and what was like the gateway into like how you found it. Because when I first found a hot toy, I didn't even know what hot toys was. So when I got it, it was just a logo on the box, you know what I mean? And then I eventually went and had a look and found their awesome website that takes 5 years to load.
Horrible.
And still to this day, takes
to this day, it is the same. When I first saw them, the website is still to this day the same as it was when I first found the company.
It is.
What?
Yeah.
Come on now.
And I got my first one, I think it was like, God, how long ago? It was like 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so the website hasn't changed at all.
It hasn't.
No. We need to hit him up about that. Like, I got a guy who can do websites and we can send him their way and make it a little flashier if they want it. Just a little bit quicker.
A little bit quicker, 2020 or 2021 style, a little bit modern. But I don't think they're about that. They're like the retro,
Yeah. I think they just upload the pictures and off they go.
I'm surprised the website is even still able to run because if it hasn't changed, that means there's been no updates on the back end. There's been no plugins that have been updated. I'm surprised that it's even compatible with browsers today, to be honest with you. Yeah.
True. I do find it harder on the phone. If I go to look at it on the phone,
it's real bad on the phone. It's
real slow.
Yep.
Yeah. I come on, Hot Toys, come on. But I do like the wood grain. That's classy. That's good choice.
Oh man. I don't know about that wood. That wood grain's got to go, if you ask me.
Oh man, if they ever do, I'll be surprised. If they ever change it, I'll be very surprised.
I agree.
Oh, good old Hot Toys. So I guess how did you first find them? Like, what was the thing that were you doing props and stuff before, and then you found it, or like how did that go?
Not really. So I guess back when I was a little youngin, a little tack guy, if you will, I was always buying action figures, etc., as any young lad would be. And I was always frustrated about the inaccuracies. So I would go and buy Batman from Batman Forever, and it would be red or something stupid. It's like, why can't it look like the thing on screen, right? And I was also at the same time obsessed with costuming, so movie suits and props, etc. And I always wanted to see what the entire thing looks like, because like in Batman Begins, you don't really get a great glimpse of like the back of the suit or the side of the suit. It's like always in shadow, and you don't get to appreciate the whole thing. So for me to own like a mini version of the most accurate version of that suit that I possibly could, and it moves and it comes with a ton of stuff, even better, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I first stumbled upon them. I was searching up, this was in 2009, 10? I don't remember when exactly, but I stumbled across the DX01 and 02.
Oh
And
wow.
those were like some real retro, yeah, some real retro stuff. I didn't
Yeah.
buy them, but that was where I first discovered Hot Toys, and then I had my eye on them because we'd just seen The Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, of course, and I was looking
Oh
at
yeah.
trying to find accurate versions of those things because I wanted them,
Yep.
and I kept my eye on them. And eventually, when I saw that there was a cheap Iron Man going, because I was also an MCU fan, but my true love
Oh
is
yeah.
DC. But when I saw there was a cheap Iron Man going on eBay, loose, no accessories, just the Iron Man, I was in high school, couldn't afford to do much more than that, so I bought it, and it
Yeah.
was awful. But I loved it anyway because it
Yes.
was the best that you could get back in those days. It had the whole abdomen section was pink because it had faded, but I still
Oh
loved
yeah.
it. Still loved it
Yeah.
nevertheless. And
Yeah.
then
Because it.
obviously I kept my eye out and got some more as the time went on.
Hell yeah. Because so was that the Dark Knight trilogy is what got you looking for? That's
Mhm.
pretty cool because that
Yep.
those movies for me, like I'm a big fan of those movies too. I love
Yep.
Christopher Nolan's trilogy. I like Christopher Nolan movies in general, but the Dark Knight trilogy, I absolutely loved it. I never had a
Back
problem
in
with Bale.
sorry, what were we gonna say?
I was gonna say I never had a problem with Bale as Batman and
Oh
the
yeah.
voice and all that stuff. I didn't care.
He's not my favorite Batman. This is my favorite Batman, but like
Yeah.
back in those days, that was I think when Batman Begins came out, that was like the time that I started paying attention to film. So usually back
Mm,
then when I was young, I didn't even know when something was coming out, and I would only know if my parents told me something was coming out. We'd go to the cinema because internet wasn't a big thing. Didn't read the
yes.
newspaper. We were just listening to the radio one day, and what got me was that on the radio they said, "Oh, you get to see Batman make his suit," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Well, I need to see that.
Yes.
I need to see that."
Yes.
So we went and
Yes.
saw Batman Begins, and then I started keeping an eye on when films are coming out. I didn't even, back in those days, I didn't even know when Transformers in 2007 was coming out. It just sort of happened, and then I was like, "Oh, it's in the cinema. Let's go and watch it." But now,
Yes.
obviously, it's completely different. We know when something's coming out. We're talking about leaks. We're talking about spoilers. We're talking about trailers. It
Yeah.
wasn't like that for me back in those days. So
It wasn't.
that's
Actually, I remember. Yeah, I remember that. I
yeah.
didn't even know. I didn't even see Batman Begins at the cinema. It was
Oh,
on
really?
DVD. Yeah,
Oh
I didn't
man.
even know. Man, like I think where was I? I was because I'm 38 now. I think God, how long ago? What year was that when it came out? It was what 2010, 8?
2008?
Man, I can't remember.
2008? No, 2006.
Maybe even sooner, later,
I
right?
think it was
Yeah,
2000.
far out.
Hold on, let me look it up. Let me look it up.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Batman Begins. It came out
Man,
in. Are you ready for this?
yes.
It came out in 2005.
Oh
Oh
wow.
man. Yeah,
So
that's real
that
retro.
that's yeah, real retro. Right, so that's
There
what
you go.
15, 16. Yeah, I hadn't even moved to WA yet. I was still in Tassie then, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was still in
Yeah.
Tasmania then. But I saw it. When I saw it, I was hooked.
That
When
was
I
it, right?
saw
Yeah.
that was it. That was it. Because I grew up watching the Keaton Batmans and then
Me
all the
too.
other ones that came after, and the Clooney ones kind of let me down, and I didn't really enjoy them as much. So when that came out, I was like, "Oh, the realism! I love the realism. I love
Yep.
the real world take on Batman." That's what drew me in, and I was already a fan of Christian Bale because for me, I guess the collecting thing as well is I love movies and I love watching extras and I love how they're made. And I used to do
Yep.
drama and I love that how stuff is made. I think that's why I like doing content creating now, is because I like the making of it. I like figuring out how to make things and do things and make stuff look cool and in my own way or whatever. But Batman kicked it off really, getting into superheroes again. I think was the main one for me. So I guess when you got that, then like when you got it, that's when you knew you were gonna that's it. I'm getting more of these, or
Absolutely. And then I kept my eye out on. I always had in my mind, oh, I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that Nolan Batman at some point, but I didn't. The next one I got
yes,
was many years later. I got the Man of Steel Superman, and then that was like huge
ooh,
level up. Obviously, that guy is awesome.
yes,
And then
yes,
around that time, I saw we knew BVS was coming out, so I put in pre-orders for everything. I
yep,
never pre-ordered anything in my life. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know when they were coming out, but I went to Zing Pop Culture and
yep.
I went in and I pre-ordered everything. And I tell you what, they must have gotten so annoyed because whenever I saw the early YouTube videos coming out, I would call up the Zing. I'm like, when are they coming? People are getting them in
Yes,
hand. And they're like, it's not how it works. We'll get them later. And I'm like, why? They've got them. Why can't I have them? And
Yes,
then
that's how I
obviously I
was.
discovered the Hong Kong sellers, thanks to Dean Knight. So the first
Yep.
one I ordered from a Hong Kong seller was Nightmare Batman.
Yep.
So I saw Dean Knight's video, and then the same day I went on eBay and I went to Tim Cent and I bought Nightmare Batman same day, and then it arrived in like 2 to 3 days after. And I was like, wow. So you can get these things sooner.
Yes.
Why the hell am I waiting for Zine Pop Culture? Come on now.
Yes.
I want these things. I didn't even know Sideshow at that point. It was not even like on my radar. I was like, you go to Zine, and that's where you get them because I've seen them there. Yeah. And I know that's where you get them from.
And Games World.
And Games World. Yes. And Games World. I didn't know about Pop Culture. I didn't know about Sideshow. I wish I still didn't know about them, to be honest. But I just thought I'll go get these things on eBay. I didn't have any idea of making a channel. That was like, I don't know, 2 to 3 years after that. At that point, I'd already collected a bunch.
Yeah.
And yeah, the channel, I guess, came later. Much later.
I'm actually interested in that. Like, what was the thing that made you think that, like, oh, I'm going to start doing YouTube? Like, because, I just find that, like, how did you come across that? That's so interesting.
It was 2 things, I guess. My friend Daniel at the time was quite adamant that it was something that I should do because I was always complaining to him that there was stuff that I didn't want YouTube reviewers to focus on and stuff that I did want them to focus on, they didn't. So I was like, well, why can't it be like this? This is what I want to see. So I was like, you know what? Stuff it. I'll make the video in the way that I would like to consume it. That's why I started off with no articulation, because I don't really care about articulation, because the whole reason for buying them for me was the accuracy. So articulation came as secondary. I added it in much, much later because people kept harassing me about it because they wanted to see it. And that was the first sort of concession. Yeah, they were demanding. It was the first concession I made to add something in that I didn't really care about. But it's there now. It's a staple. It has to stay. But that's why I wanted to add more to the videos, but also not include stuff that wasn't, I felt, super important to the buying experience. And I don't know if my first videos were the perfect representation of that. They're not great.
You got to start somewhere, mate. You got to
start somewhere. I started with Hoth Leia was the first figure that I had, which was funny because I actually bought a light box from a local store called Ted's Cameras. You probably have Ted's Cameras in WA. You're in WA.
Not that I've seen. Yeah, not that I've seen. No,
it's a yellow thing. Ted's Cameras. Anyway, they're probably there. I went in. They sell light boxes there, but it was a small one, like a 40 centimeter one or something, like real, or 20 even. It was real small. So I already had bought that like a couple of weeks before, and I was like, really can't be bothered. How do I get into this? I didn't have the motivation. And then my buddy Daniel was like, you got to just do it. Just do it. Just give it a go.
He's a good friend, mate. He's a good friend. Holy moly.
Definitely. I'm so glad that he encouraged me because, without that, I probably wouldn't have given it a go until a lot later. Yeah.
So when you did it, like when you first put that first one out, like were you like, let's just see where it goes. Let's just see what happens. And like when did you realize like, I can do more? No.
Yeah, no. It didn't even factor in. I didn't factor in views. I didn't factor in anything. I was like, you know what? This is just the type of video that I would want to watch.
Yeah.
I didn't even think that it was a possibility that people would watch it. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't share it anywhere. I just put it up, and then did the next one, and did the next one, and did the next one. Because I was like, you know what? At the very least, if nobody else is making videos like this, then I know that my own is out there. Not that I like to listen to my own voice. I hate it. I'll just mute myself, and then I can see it. If I ever sell something, then I've got a video to look back on, something, I did creatively with the figure. It's not a waste. I've spent time looking at it on camera, so I can always look back at that. It's kind of like an archive almost, if you will.
Yeah,
because
I completely get that.
I was buying and selling. Back in the day, I was wheeling and dealing, trading here, buying here. Nowadays, not anymore, but back then, budget was very tight because I was working at a car wash, John. I was working at a car wash. Wow. Yeah.
Nice.
So I would get up at 5 or 6 in the morning. I would work at the car wash, and I was studying at the same time. So it was full-time uni, full-time working. So it was a challenge, and money was real tight. So, it wasn't always super easy to get these things. Correct. Exactly.
Hey, it's worth it though, mate. It paid off. Like I think
so.
More people need to hear stories like that because, in the industry I'm in, we get I deal a lot with people and like wanting to change their lives and do things and all those types of things. And a lot of them don't think it's possible to do things, but like it's awesome to hear people that do go above and beyond and do extra things because you're doing something without getting paid for it, in fact costing you money, That's what
Yes,
I've
back
noticed.
in
Like,
those days, the Hong Kong
yeah,
sellers were way more expensive than they are now. The prices of Hong Kong sellers
wow,
now are incredible. So when I see
yeah,
people complaining like, "Oh, it's $20 more than Sideshow," what the hell? This would have cost me
yeah,
back in those days anywhere from $500 to $600, and that was there was no complaints. That's what you pay.
yeah,
If you're getting it from a
yeah,
Hong Kong seller, that is what you are paying. An
yeah,
Iron Man figure was $1,000 every day of the week. There was no
yeah.
discounts, there was no specials, there was no free
Wow.
shipping. That's how much it was. Just get on with it. But nowadays, they
Yeah,
are so incredibly well priced that even Hong Kong sellers sometimes can be cheaper than local retail, which is like insane to even think about. It was never like that. And a lot
yeah,
of people think, oh, oh, Justin's got a deal with a supplier. That's how he did his channel. No, 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 no.
yeah,
For the first 2 years, I had no deals with anyone. No deals.
yeah,
I was paying the full Hong Kong price every release, every week. I put in the money, I put in the time, and that's how I grew the channel. Not because someone helped me, not because I
yeah,
had a deal. I put in the effort and I put in the funds. It's not,
yeah,
oh, I'll get the deal and then my channel will grow. No, no. You got to grow the channel first,
yeah,
and then you're going to get the deal. Imagine in
yeah,
business if you're like, this is a brand new startup. I've made no money. Cool. Let's do a deal. And the other
yeah.
company you're
Give me all
talking
your
to is
money.
like, what are you talking? I'm not going to give you. You're unproven. You've not done anything. You
Yeah,
have barely just started. What do you mean you want to make a deal? I'm not going to make a
yeah,
deal with you. So it's like
yeah,
that. Put in the effort
yeah,
first, and then the rewards
yeah.
will come later.
I love that, mate. Because I mean, I started mine in May, I think, or in
Yep.
February. I started just putting little clips up of them to music, because I wanted to look again, like you. I wanted to look back on. I wanted to put them in a pose and then put it to
There
music
you
because I
go.
like mixing music with it, so I could watch it back. And I'm like, when I'm doing things like I mentioned to you once before, like the foam rolling thing, I would foam roll and watch videos of them turning to music because I just
Mhm.
enjoyed that. So like I totally get that, and I approached like a company about, oh, would you do a deal with me? Same thing. They're like, no. They're like, you don't have anybody. They're like, thanks for asking. Come back to us when you have more people. And I'm like, okay,
Yes. Yes.
all right. So I get it. Like, and it makes sense. Like, in business, of course, no one's gonna. It's hard to get that. You got to prove
It's a
yourself. It's hard
risk.
to get
It's a
that
risk.
chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a conversation I had with my wife. Like, I'm saying, I'm investing, not just money, but time, because time's a big one too. It takes a lot of
Hmm.
time to actually have a crack and give it a go. So like, I can't even imagine back then when you had no one to go off really, other than maybe like, back then it would have been what, Dean Knight and Clipper King and guys like
Uh,
that were
Yeah, Clipper
Budget
King, D
Stark,
Knight, Budget Stark, Optibotimus was a big influence for me. Obviously, he did the
of
white light
course.
box thing. Although I don't know if he doesn't use a light box, he uses a light table, which means that the
Okay.
lights come up through the backdrop, which is
Ah,
not the way I like to do it. I like to have the lights bouncing off the sides of the light box so that
yeah,
they can evenly and softly light the figure. So the background is quite a harsh, perfect bright white, but
yeah,
I find that sometimes back in those days, his videos they would overexpose the figure just a little bit, and his hands would be quite
yeah,
blown out. And back when I started, I was doing it the same way, and my hands were also blown out. Like they were like, it was. My wife said when I
yeah,
did the first Lightbox video, she's like, "It's like you filmed it in the gates of heaven because everything is so glowy and soft, and it didn't look great." So
yeah,
it took me a while to dial in from a visual aspect what I wanted
yeah.
it to look like, what I wanted my identity to be. So a Steve Jobs quote that I use a lot is good artists copy, great artists steal. So what that means is you can very
Yeah.
easily just fire up one of my videos and write down everything I do and all the shots that I do, and then put the video up
Mm,
in the same way, but just you voice over it. It's not going to get you anywhere because
mm,
there's already someone doing that. The best way to do it is
yeah.
to watch the channels that you like, the parts and pieces that you like, and chances are if you cut together and steal all of the best parts of what those videos do. Say you like
Yeah.
Jeddah Patrol's posing and his cinematography, but you like the way I do the speed ramps where they turn on the turntable real fast and they switch between the poses. And you
Mm,
like the way Posing with Peter does a couple of different poses and he incorporates the detolfs in the background. You bring all of
mm.
that stuff together because those are your favorite parts of your favorite channels. Chances are maybe there are other people that feel that way as well, and that's what they've
Yeah,
been
that's right.
wanting to see for the longest time. Hey, I really
Yep.
want to see this kind of video. Voila.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
and that's for me. Like I want to do the storytelling. Like I like trying to create little short stories in the posing, and that's something I'm leaning more towards now. Like with my Hawkeye one I just did,
Mhm.
not a review at all. It's just literally 10 poses, but trying to verbally tell a story. So I'm like, I want to try and tell a
Yep.
mini story verbally because that's something I would like to see that I haven't seen. And I think, that's what I have fun doing. And for me, it's all about having fun, the doing of it, because it's taking time, right? I've got a
Yes.
I've got a little
Yes.
one,
Yes.
I've got family, and the only time I can really do my YouTube is early in the morning. So for me, I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I want to do something that, I also want to be original as best I can and do something that I'm not seeing everyone else do. And for me, I think that's going to be the storytelling stuff and the posing, because I do enjoy playing with them, playing with the figures. And it takes me back to being a kid when I used to play with G.I. Joes and Transformers, and I used to set up battlefields and all this crazy shit.
Of
Like I would
course.
just
Yes. Yes.
do these little stories myself, and I played by myself at home. So I think for me, it's getting back to that and playing. I get to play now, but like one of the biggest things, and I'd like to know what your take is on it,
Mm.
is one of the hardest things about making content. For me, it has been lighting, for sure. Like
Yeah.
getting
It is
lighting.
very hard.
Like I've been every video for me is an experimentation of trying something different with the lighting, different angles, different modes or whatever. Like I have no idea about anything to do with photography, so I'm all learning it on the go. But I actually enjoy that. But lighting, man, holy moly, like lighting is tough.
Yeah, I had some real struggles recently with filming big things. So how I used to do it was quite
Yeah.
rudimentary, but it worked perfectly. Was that in my old room, I had all my cabinets and the LED lights were so bright and they were in a U shape. So I would sit in the middle and I would have cabinets on one side, cabinets on the other
Oh
side,
wow.
cabinets behind, which is the perfect lighting scenario. That means you've got a backlight so that you can get a nice edge light around the back of your figure, and you've got on the sides, but nothing harsh in front. So it's the perfect lighting scenario. But I sold those cabinets because I got the module
Yeah.
case. So that means I had
Hmm.
to figure something out. And it took me so long. I bought so many different kinds of lights, and they either weren't bright enough, or they were the field of light was too narrow, so it was too harsh in one direct point.
Yeah.
Finally, I figured it out. So luckily for quarter scale Mando, I used the new lights that I bought. I
Yeah.
just figured it out. I bought some really expensive aperture lights, which are LED panels. They're about this big. They're
Oh
quite
yeah.
large, and it cost me,
Yes.
I think, over $1,000 for three. But my wife was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Buy it
Yeah.
nice, or buy it
Are they
twice."
cylinder? Are they cylinder or flat? Those ones.
No, they're flat panels. They're a rectangle. They're
Oh
flat panels
yes.
of LED. They are super bright, and you can control the color
Yeah.
temperature. And there's remotes, and there's barn doors, and you can diffuse them. Obviously, I recommend diffusing your
Yes.
lights. So I've got two on the side, and then one behind, just like the setup I used to have. But then
Yeah.
the challenge becomes dialing in the brightness so that your hands don't
Mm.
get blown out and you can still see the things. So Mando was the first one I used those lights showing my hands in the video.
Mm.
It was pretty hard. It took me a while to get the lights dialed in, but I
Yeah. But
managed
still
it.
look good, mate. Yeah, look
Yeah, I
good.
managed it. I'm super happy with how it looks and how it turned out. I got a lot of praise for that Mando video from like the 5 people who've watched it, because for some reason anything Star Wars doesn't really do that well.
Yeah,
But
I
I
don't get
appreciate
that.
it for those who watched it. Thank you.
Well, I watched it, mate. I did a Mando
Thank you.
video,
Thank
right?
you.
I did a double Mando one, and I'm like, this is the best posing I've ever done. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
this is amazing. And the views, I'm like, everybody loves Mando, and I'm like, oh,
No.
actually, no, not many people love watching videos on Mando.
Yeah, no. It's is really surprising. If Mando season 3 was out right now or was about to drop, then we'd have a
Yeah.
different conversation. But yeah, Book of Boba Fett is coming, but
Mm.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. I love Boba Fett, and I'm pretty sure most of us love Boba Fett, but 90% of the regular audience who go on Disney Plus don't know shit about Boba Fett yet. Just like they
Mm.
didn't know shit about Mando. My dad even watched
Yeah.
Mando, and he doesn't like Star Wars. He doesn't watch any Star
Yeah.
Wars.
My
So if you
dad
can draw an
loves it now.
audience, there you go. If you can
He's
draw an
addicted to
audience
it.
like that, then I think Boba Fett will be top tier
Yeah.
Star Wars. Just like if it's good,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And with Mando, right? Like because I wasn't back into Star Wars. I was all Marvel, DC there and
Yep.
Transformers for so long. Rogue One tickled my interest. I'm
Ooh.
like, that's a really good
Yep.
movie. Like, I'm like, yep, I really like that, but I wasn't into it like that. What got me to watch Mando was that Jon Favreau was making it, and I'm like, well,
Yes.
I love Jon Favreau. I love Iron Man. I love his style. I'll check it out. And as soon as that first episode hit, and he walks in and he's like, "I can take you in warm, take you in cold,"
You
I
were
was
done.
just like, "Ah!" I'm like all Mando. I'm like all in on Mando. Since then, I've watched both seasons like bloody 4 times each. I just love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, it's definitely a comfort show for me. That's for sure. Definitely love it. We should have done. If I had my quarter scale, we could have done a Mando one too. But anyway, it'll come.
No, my quarter scale is in a terrible place right now. He's tucked up in the corner. I don't know if I can show it. It's real bad, so I warn you all in advance. He's tucked up there. You can just see him peeking through the corner.
Yes.
Because
Yes,
Will, and I love Will, but he convinced me to get these 3rd scale statues. So these spots were meant for quarter scale figures. So I have 4 of them, 1 here, 1 down below, and then 2 on the other side. They were meant for quarter scales.
Yeah.
So now that I put 3rd scales in there, I needed to find somewhere else to put my quarter scales, which means they have ended up on the top row and kind of in the corners, which is not ideal. So on that one shelf, I have Boba Fett, Darth Vader, and Mando. So I need to figure out something better. Yeah.
You know, bloody Will, mate. First of all, he's bringing. I was there watching from the beginning when he started convincing you about bloody statues.
He got me real good.
This guy. He's Bradley Cooper from The Wedding Crashers. That's what he's done. If you've ever seen
real good, John. He got me done. You know he was just statues. And then I saw how good. And then I got my first one because I got it real cheap. That's the gateway. When you get one real cheap. And you get one real good, because my first one was BVS Batman, Prime 1 BVS, or Suicide Squad Batman, but it's the BVS suit, obviously. And like that was, there was no coming back from that. You can't come back from BVS Batman, you know.
Mate, I've only got one, and I've got Sideshow's premium format Aquaman, because I'm a big Jason Momoa Aquaman fan, and I actually really like the pose and the hair. That's actually something I was going to say to you, like. DC figure wise, my dream for the next Aquaman movie is I hope they do 2 head sculpts for Aquaman. Hear me out. 2 head sculpts. I want a new head sculpt. I want one on land and one is if he's underwater with his hair flowing.
Like with the hair going up? Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yes, I think that would be so good to have Aquaman have an underwater, because if you wanted to pose him underwater doing cool shit, I'd love to be able to have that hair flowing. You know, I think, please, Hot Toys, please give us.
Come on,
please give us that.
Come on. Judging by the performance of Hot Toys for the first movie, which was literally just this. I don't know if we'll get that. But the third-party Ocean Master is coming out this week. And some people actually already have it in hand. So I'm so excited to get Ocean Master and pop him alongside this Aquaman here. I've been waiting. Black Manta would be great too, but you know, you can't ask for everything, I suppose.
I still don't know why no one hasn't done that.
Great. I don't know why either.
It's such a great looking, like he'd be a great figure. He would look so good.
He would. And LEDs in those eyes, damn.
Yeah, man, that would be unbelievable. Come on, someone. I tell you what, you got to do it. Let's go. I'm
already having crazy ideas. Like, imagine some effect pieces that you could snap on over the ridge of the eye that have like a smoke coming out of like the corner of the eyes, kind of like Darkseid. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I would love to see.
How
and then
epic would
some
he be?
jet effect pieces for his jetpack. Yeah, I'd love to see that.
That would be awesome. That would be like, and that kind of brings me to a question of like, I guess the DC thing, like, because I love DC, and it just doesn't get much love at all, which is, you know, I mean, Dark Knight, Nolan's trilogy,
all the love for Dark Knight somehow,
getting all the love, but I'm hoping with the new Flash movie and the new Batman movie that we're going to see more DC figures. I mean, what do you think it is that isn't making Hot Toys do it? Do you think they look at the performance of the films and that's why they're not doing it? Or do you think they just don't have an interest in the property? And if they don't have an interest, then why are they keeping it?
Holding the license? Yeah, I don't know. I think that you are hitting the nail on the head. They're looking at the performance of the films. Some aren't doing great. And it's always unfortunate because they bet big on things that they think are going to be big, like Wonder Woman 84. They went all out with the Golden Armor Wonder Woman and the regular Wonder Woman. They did all the engineering for the wings, and then they're like, "Oh shit, the movie flopped." And it's like, "Oh, we've been burnt." But like, if you take 2 seconds and actually look at it, Hot Toys, then I think you will know which ones are going to do better than others. Suicide Squad was unfortunate because it was the first movie back from the cinemas being shut down because of COVID. For us, we couldn't even go see it because the cinemas were closed.
Yeah.
So on the day that Suicide Squad was coming out, they announced a lockdown, which ended up going for like 9 months. So they announced the lockdown, a 5-day lockdown, and it was going to start at 8 p.m. And we had tickets to see Suicide Squad at 7 p.m. So we couldn't go. So what we did was went on the thing, booked tickets immediately for the 4 p.m. session, and we went out because thank God we did, because I wanted to see that in the cinema, and the cinemas were closed for 9 months after that. Or how many months it was, 8 or 9 months, which was crazy. A 5-day lockdown.
5-day lockdown.
5-day lockdown.
Months, man.
And the reason they did it at 8 p.m. was because he said, I specifically don't want people to rush out and go and do things and see friends and family. I want to, trap them as quickly as I possibly can. Yeah, God forbid they do that. So it was unfortunate, but luckily it's over now and cinemas are opening back up. But you're absolutely right. It's a performance of the films, and also they've been burnt before, so they don't want to get burnt again.
Which, like...
Take a risk. Take a risk.
Yeah, like even with Wonder Woman, right? Even though the film wasn't that popular, she's popular, and people who collect are still going to want her. And that's what I'm thinking. They're not thinking about. Like, people are still going to want Wonder Woman and Gal Gadot because it's a beautiful looking piece, and she's amazing as that character. Like, I don't know. I just think any business is just. I mean, a business is going to make it a financial. Go what's best financially. I get that, but for this stuff, I still think there's nostalgia and fans out there that would collect it, who aren't even necessarily into the films as much, And I think they're missing that market when they do that, because I would love to say them. Yeah,
if they made Harley from Suicide Squad in the red and black leather,
who
cares about the movie? People would buy it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love the movie though. I love the new Suicide.
Oh, me too. I freaking loved it.
I thought it was hilarious.
It was awesome. Yeah, me too.
It was amazing. And John Cena's show, surely he's going to get one with a new show, you would think.
Someone is making a Peacemaker. Someone is making a Bloodsport, a Peacemaker. We've already got the Polka Dot Man from someone else, obviously, and Ratcatcher 2. So we are getting a lot of the team from another company, a company that I love. So I'm very excited about that. And the quality is going to be on point. So if Hot Toys doesn't, then, fuck it, we're going to get them anyway. But I would have liked to have seen a bit more of a showing from them. They gave us King Shark, but
the fact that we're not getting Idris Elba is like blows my mind. Yeah, just in general, because
it's crazy.
Because not just for that character, but for him, like being a fan of him.
Me too.
All the people who why would they not think that would sell? And it's a great looking character too. Like the suit, the helmet is unbelievable. I just don't understand why they wouldn't. That gets me thinking, and because I'm interested in business and that stuff. I think the fact that they're not doing as much as they can with licenses like that, they open the door up for competition. If they did the things, that would shut down competition. I feel like
nobody would touch it. Nobody would touch it.
Yeah. So in turn, I feel like they're creating a possible. Like not their own demise, but they're creating by not doing that, they're allowing other people to come in and improve and gain audience and steal people, essentially, potentially. You know what I mean? If you were thinking business wise and all about the money, don't let anybody have the opportunity to come in and take what you could be doing, being that you own the damn license.
Correct. If you have the license and you have bid on that license, that means that you've shown that is something that you want to produce for, because for Warner Brothers, having a company sit on the license and not make anything isn't doing you any favors. It's not getting your product out there. It's not getting these characters in front of people's, in this instance, screens, because we're here talking about them. It's not getting these characters in front of people's eyeballs, and it's not making you any extra money. So it literally makes no sense from a Warner Brothers perspective why they would allow a company to just sit on the license. Surely there is an agreement that says for each new film you have to make X number of figures, which obviously there isn't in the case of Warner Brothers, because we got, unless it was one figure. Actually, now I think we might have cracked it, because one figure per film. We got him, we got King Shark. So it could be, except for Shazam, which they ended up making nothing. So
which you would think would be a breach in the agreement, but possibly.
correct. I don't know what
Unless
kind of
they said
agreement they
maybe,
have, but Warner
mm,
Brothers, I would suggest if I was asked, I would suggest not having an exclusive agreement, but
mm,
having an open agreement, kind of like how you're seeing J&D make a third scale bail, and Queen Studios making a third scale
yeah,
bail, and Prime One making a third scale, all the same scale, all statues. So why can't we see that for 1/6 scale? Hot Toys has the
yeah,
license, and Asmus or and 30 and So Toys or all of
yeah,
these companies share a license, and then they can compete. Oh, you're going to make
yeah.
this? We're going to do one better.
Yeah, and like, I would think Warner Brothers would be savvy enough to want that, unless their deal with Hot Toys is so damn like
So
Loctite,
lucrative that, yeah.
or and which I don't know if it could be lucrative.
I don't think it is that good. I don't think it
Like,
is.
especially if you're just bringing out, like, for me as a collector,
Mhm.
I'm happy that they're bringing out the new Dark Knights, because I have DX02.
Yep.
That's the only one that I have. Like, I'm definitely getting the quarter scale and the 1/6, because I
DX19,
like
yeah.
I like pairing the two together. I like having, like, with my Spideys, I like having Spidey the quarter scale with the 1/6, and I create like a little
Nice.
diorama display with them, and that's what I'll do with Mando when he comes. I'll have them around him. So when I get that Batman, it's going to be awesome. I'd love actually a quarter scale of this. Oh God, I'd love quarter
I
scale
would kill
of
for
this.
that. Honestly, I need that in my life.
This is the best looking for me. I mean, I also blame Dean Knight. Dean Knight's in my head with
I know
this one, because
he loves this so much.
but
I love it
he
too.
loves
I
it
love
so
it
much
too.
that I love it.
But I like Justice League more. I don't know. There's something about
Yeah.
Justice League. I think it comes down to maybe me having this cowl in real life, and it
Mhm.
looks so ridiculous on me.
It's so
That you
thick,
just,
right? Like,
because the neck is so thick, and you like this hunchback thing. But then when I put the
yeah.
Justice League cowl on, it's so shapely and has such a nice neck and such a nice silhouette. So when I look at
Yeah.
that Justice League suit, I don't know. There's something about that Justice League suit. Also the
Yeah.
hint of a little bit of blue in there, just a little bit of blue, not like
Yeah.
in the Whedon cut where he's like literally blue. I don't know what they did with saturation. They turned the saturation slider all the way up because he's not supposed to be
Yeah.
blue. But I like that little hint of a little bit of blue in the suit. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. It reminds me of, I had, when I was a kid, like this Batman toy that I had forever, and it was one of the bluer suit Batmans. I used to love that one.
Mhm.
Absolutely love it, man. But like, a quarter scale of this would be amazing. But
Oh, it would be
Hot
killer.
Toys, mate, they need to do something about DC. Like, I really think, or there needs to be. What if you, like, we should go to Warner Brothers and go, hey, we're gonna do, like, what's it
Hello
gonna
there.
take? Yeah, what's it going to take to take this license away? Let's go. Like, what do we got to do? We're going to
They should be pretty open because they just gave Jazz Inc. a 1/6 scale license, and they did it in a different way to how they normally would do it. But Jazz
yeah,
Inc. had to go around to all of the companies that hold that license and ask, "Hey, we're making this. Any plans to make this? Do you mind if we do that?"
mm,
And they had to go and ask all the people because in different countries, different people hold the license. So he had to go to
yeah.
all of those different companies and ask them and tick them all off one by one. And luckily,
Wow.
they were able to do that. So I guess the same thing would happen, but you could do it maybe on a per figure basis. Say, hey,
Mm,
we are thinking about making this. Superman from Superman Lois would love to see it. We're thinking
mm,
about making this. Any plans? And you would have to ask all the license holders in all those countries, and they would say no. And then maybe Warner Brothers would allow you to do it. I don't
mm.
know. But that is something I
That
would
would
love to see.
be,
Imagine a 2-pack of the modern Superman and the retro, the Action Comics style throwback suit that he
yes,
was wearing. I love that show.
that would
Seriously,
be
it's a really
awesome.
good show.
There's so much, wealth of stuff they could do for DC. Like, there's so much that they could do. Even just, and villains, so many villains they could do. That
Why do
would
we not
be,
have a 1/6 scale Penguin for even a comic style one,
yeah,
or a comic style Bane, or comic style Poison Ivy, or Riddler, or like? There's
yeah.
so many villains.
Yes, there's
We just get
so many
Joker,
villains that could
only
do.
Joker, just over and over again,
Yeah,
Joker.
just
Come on,
Jokers. Yeah, I
come
do
on.
love Joker, but come on, give us
Me
someone
too,
else, please.
but
Yeah,
someone else would
yeah.
be
But I
nice.
also like other people. If they could just, you know, I think, you know, Warner Brothers. Well, I had a thought before about Hot Toys.
Mhm.
Like, if they wanted to stop other third-party companies from doing these DC figures that they're doing, that they're not doing, but
Yep.
maybe they don't have the resources to delve into they don't want to take the risk of delving into make other DC figures, maybe because they think they're not going to make enough money. Wouldn't that be a time to look at maybe upscaling your business model and bring in more artists, bring in more people to be able to do more?
Or maybe a limited run. That's a great way of making sure that you get your money, is making it limited run. Make a limited run of 1,000 or 2,000 or whatever you want to do.
True.
And have it a Toy Fair exclusive. If you do one DC Toy Fair exclusive per year, I don't think anybody's going to complain about that. I don't think anybody's going to complain about that at all, to be honest.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, they got to do it. I think if this new Batman does well, I think we would hopefully see, and I think it will. Like it, I don't want to be.
I'm all in on that movie. So if we're seeing, and we will, because we've got no fewer than 3 Bruce Wayne figures announced from 3 different third-party companies. I have one of them here, so nice. I would love to see. I might get it actually. Hold on.
Hell yeah! While you're doing that, I'll address some of the guys in the chat. Sorry, guys. When we have these chats, we kind of get talking, so I'll try and address you all as best I can. But thanks, 6 scale figgy. Oh man, that looks sweet. I love the red.
Oh yes, I love the red.
That is sick. Yeah, that is sick. Chess, thanks for being here, mate. James, thanks, James. Thanks, brother. Don't get in trouble at work if you're listening. Don't make sure you don't get in trouble. Thanks, guys, for everything. Oh wow, that looks sick. Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hold on a minute.
I actually think I feel like Robert Pattinson's going to do pretty well.
He's going to kill it. He's a phenomenal actor. I didn't know until I saw him in Tenet, but in that movie, he absolutely killed it.
Yeah. Okay, oh wow. Here we have him. That looks here. That looks unbelievable.
He's honestly not bad. It's not as good as the prototype, and excuse the super harsh lighting, but it's not terrible. This is made by Daft Toys, for anyone wondering, and they do amazing work.
I can still see him in there.
Absolutely. Oh, hold on. I opened iTunes for some reason. Go away, iTunes. What the hell? Accident.
My laptop will do that too.
What is it even doing? It's doing something. There we go.
Philip the Fool, what's up?
It's pretty impressive for a third party before the movie comes out. So I am going to review that hopefully soon. I'm quite excited to review him.
And that's what he like. Does he just come in the suit? Does he come with any other accessories?
He comes in the suit. He doesn't come with any accessories, but the other third-party ones do. They come with batarangs and his style of batarang, which is like his chest logo, basically. Apparently.
Yeah. What do you think about his suit? What do you think about his setup?
I'm all about that suit. I pre-ordered the Prime 1 statue, which I don't usually pre-order stuff. But I did because I really like the way that suit looks. I'm all for the clean comic book style, like BVS Batman, but I'm also all about the real world tech military sort of style as well. So I think it's a good blend, and I know people don't like the cowl, but I kind of like it. I don't know. I kind of like the cowl.
It's different, and I think it's a good artistic choice to do it differently. If you're going to keep doing Batman in different iterations, I think you don't want to be doing it the same. Like I loved the Dark Knight suit and the Batman Begins suit. And then I saw this suit, and at first I didn't like this one. I'm like, it's not the same as that. But as I saw it more, it then became my favorite. And I was like, actually, no, I really love. I was watching the extras actually to BVS and seeing him in the suit in natural light when they're behind the scenes and stuff like that. I'm like, oh man, like he looks hulking like a monster. And I fell in love with it. Absolutely fell in love with the Kevlar look. And you had this suit, didn't you? But you sold it, right?
Yes, I had it. I can bring up a picture of me in the suit if you want to see it.
Hell yeah. How do I get you to share? Can I get...
I will bring it up in a second. Hold on. And then you can add it into the stream. Here we go. Okie dokie.
Thanks everyone for being here. Renz, welcome to the chat, mate. Thanks for the first time watching Opposing episode live. This is going to be fun. Thanks for being here. We do talk a bit, and we will eventually do Oppose, but we generally talk quite a bit before we get into Oppose.
There you go. It is available.
Beautiful. Here we go.
There I am.
Boom. Look at that. The Australian. I said the Australian Batman.
You did. You said it. But yeah, you're right. This suit is awesome.
That is awesome.
I did use
that's the neck you were talking about, right?
I used my Justice League cowl on the BVS suit. I know, not accurate, But I didn't care. I like the way it looks. I had both, and on the day
Yeah.
I was just trying to decide between both, and I put them both on, and Steph was like, "Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
go with Justice League one. It looks better."
That is awesome. I love that, mate. That is unbelievable. How long did it take you to get that?
It didn't take too long.
Like,
So I
put it
work with a
together,
local creator in Sydney, and he made
Yeah.
the cowl, he made the suit, he made the belt, and then another creator in Tasmania made the cape for me. And I got the boots
Oh,
from
wow.
China. The boots were the worst part of the suit. They were terrible. There are better companies that
Really?
make them, but they're like 500 euro, which is like over $1,000. And I wasn't that ready at that point to commit. And when I do the 2.0 version, I will. I'll absolutely go
Yeah.
all out. But Ben, his name's Benable Effects on Instagram. He
Yeah.
made the suit, he made the gauntlets, he made the
Wow.
belt, the cowl. So he made a lot of the stuff, and he does amazing work. So when I make the
Yeah.
2.0, I will probably go to him again for a cowl, the
Yep.
belt again, and the gauntlets, and then I'll probably go to I don't know who I'm going to go to for the suit. Maybe there's a company called John, or the guy's name is called John Ninko, I think. And I think Cosplay Chris
Okay.
gets his suits from him, but I want to get his Justice League suit. I reckon it's going to be awesome.
Wow. That'd be awesome. Is that the only one that you have? Like, because you got Mando as well, right? Do you have any others?
Yep. I have Mando. I have the Mighty Morphin Red Power Ranger, which I still have not finished.
wow.
There's one thing that I need to do to finish off that suit, and it's to get the boots. So the top of the boots are really wide. I need to get them taken in a bit, and then it'll be done. But I just haven't. I've been so lazy. I haven't got it done. So I
man.
need to finish off my Red Power Ranger, and yeah, that's it now. I used to have the 89 Batman, but I sold it to Rob's Reviews, also an Aussie,
Oh,
local
wow.
guy. Yeah, sold it to Rob
Yes.
from Rob's Reviews.
Hell yeah.
And I was working on Batman Begins, but I decided not to complete it because it was getting a little bit tricky to find the parts and pieces that I would need to get to make it look right. So I've cut down on my Batman. I'm going to just do one Ultimate Batman Justice League at some point. I don't know when. It could be a couple of years from now. Take a break and do it right, I say.
It's a cool project to have, though. Like, I love doing stuff like that. Now, this is probably going to sound crazy, but there's a guy on Instagram. I don't know if you've ever seen him. I think it's Calvin Creations, maybe.
Yeah, I know him.
He does Spider-Man costumes.
Well, I got some exciting information about that, but I can't share it. I can't share it on the stream, but I'll tell you after. He's working with. Yeah. He's about to, or he's signed a deal with a certain company to produce consumer level products. So you'll be able to buy his.
That's what I was going to say.
Stuff. Yes,
I have
one down. I've got a prototype one downstairs. The mask. With the moving lenses.
I want to know, how did their eyes move? Like, because I watch it, I'm like, how the hell is he doing that?
I don't think I can tell you because it's a complicated mechanism, and I think it's a secret because it'll all be sealed up when you get the final, like, the product.
Yeah.
So,
man,
I have a prototype. I have a prototype. It's really awesome. I've got a Homecoming prototype coming. It should be today, I think, but that's using so his design, obviously he's licensed his design to this company. I can't name the name of the company, but I will in the review. The review will happen at some point, and it is a badass looking thing.
Yeah, I love his work, man. It's unbelievable. Like, my thing with that is I just need to get in better shape. If I can get in better shape, and then I'll be happily able to wear it.
Spider-Man is a tricky one. I used to have the RPC Studios Homecoming Spidey, and that I think is the best suit you can buy. It's fully screen printed. It's not just, printed on the surface. It's actual texture on the suit, and you've got the magnetic eye lenses. You've got the magnetic web shooters. It's got the belt cartridges. It's got real soles on the shoes. It was awesome. But you do have to, because you see it's a very skin tight suit, obviously. So you see everything if your belly is not as smooth as it should be, which mine unfortunately isn't at the moment. I need to
mine
get
is not right now either. I need to.
So I went
really. No, I went really strict for a year with my trainer, and I was in really great shape. And I'm like, okay, now I could probably pull it off. And then the last 6 months, I've taken a break, I've taken a break, and I need to definitely get my mojo back before I can think about putting something that tight on. That's for sure.
Yeah, same with Red Power Ranger for me. I don't think I could. I couldn't pull that off right now. No.
Yeah, I'd be Dad Spider-Man. I'd be Spider-Man from Into the Spider-Verse.
That's actually something you could do. Put a Spidey suit on, put some trackies on. That actually could work.
Actually, I could pull that off. I have like a really cheap Iron Man Mark 50 suit that I got for like Halloween. So every time we do, like, we'll do a superhero day at my work, and I'll be Iron Man all week. So all the kids see, Iron Man John walking around. Everybody has a good laugh because I look like an absolute fool. It's one of those big puffy ones. The chest is like
I know the one.
Yeah, the real cheap Halloween ones. But I'm like, I still rock it. I'm like, I need to upgrade to something like awesome.
You do.
And I think Spidey will probably be the way they go. I would love an Iron Man one, but I feel like I'm not there yet.
They don't really. I don't know. Iron Man ones are a bit. Even the really expensive ones are a bit janky for me, just because, like, the way an Iron Man suit in reality should work is there should be servos in the joints. So when you go to move, it moves itself. Yes. Whereas if you're doing it out of plastic, you hear all this plastic clunking into itself and nothing moves out of the way. Because if you think about it, if it's a multi-piece suit of armor, if you go to move your shoulder forward, this piece should like slide out of the way and then you should be able to come in. But you just clunking all this plastic into yourself.
Walk around like this.
Yeah, it looks weird. It sounds weird. Iron Man costuming is, I think it has a long way to go, let's just say.
Yeah.
Not to take away from the amazing work that artists do, but
Yeah, it's definitely one of the hardest ones, I think. One of the best ones I've seen, actually, is a guy, Michael Roman. I think I messaged you once. He was doing a live watch for the Spider-Man trailer before it dropped, and he was in his Iron Man. He was in a Mark III suit as he was like with sunnies on, like a Mark III, and it looked unbelievable. I think he said it might have been one of the props from the film or something. Like he was, like he's deep into. You got to check him out, man. He's deep into collecting, and like he drops a Spider-Man video, and it has like 5 million views in the first hour. Whoa. Like ridiculous amount of. He's a top dog. He's a top dog, but he's definitely a collector. I want to get him on one day to talk to him about collecting and cosplay, because he has that Iron Man suit is unbelievable. Nice. Really cool. But yeah, I'm not there yet. I'll go for Spidey first. Maybe. We'll see. Mando would be awesome too, because I can hide under the suit. That would be good.
Yes. Although people were telling me that I'm too skinny for Mando they said that I need to put a fat suit on, whatever that means. Wow. So I haven't brought myself to put Mando suit back on, because I don't know if you'll know how that sort of feels when you put all this effort into making the costume, and then you put it on, and then people are like, oh, it's too skinny, it doesn't look right, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh. It's really deflating. So it's just been sitting in a box ever since. I haven't put it back on again. So yeah, I don't know.
I'd say don't let the haters bring you down. Don't let the haters bring you down.
Yeah, I try not to, but there are so many of them. I was saying to Bob Dylan yesterday when I was answering, because I answer my comments every night. I sit down and I answer all my YouTube comments. I said, you know what? Some of these comments they just take the wind right out of your sails, honestly. Like there were comment about my Mando video, saying like, how can you like this? Why would you must like everything. It's so shit. It doesn't come with this. It doesn't come with that. Goodness. I was like, God forbid that I like something and you don't like it. God forbid I have a preference. Like it just, it can get quite deflating. So I guess trying to let it get to you, but when you answer comments on the volume that I do, I can even imagine. Even if you don't want to let it get to you, sometimes it can.
Yeah, I completely get that. I still I say that it's easier to say and harder to do. That's for sure, because I still let things get to me. I think I did something. I did a video and I saw like someone. I can't remember what the comment was, but it was like just a complete slap in the face, and I'm like, well, okay. It's like, all right, thanks for like trying to shoot me down. Appreciate it. Like I just put 2 weeks of effort into that. That's okay though. You don't have to like it. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in though. Thanks. I like what Jeddah says. Like hit that dislike button twice. Do that for me.
Yeah, hit it twice.
Hit it
so
twice
nice you hit it twice. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But like in regards to like people saying it should come with this, should come with that, I always try to live by, unless I'm the person in the position to make it, I'm not going to complain about what it is, because I'm not the one making it. If I want that, I should get in that position.
If there's a better one, or if there's a better one out there, but then absolutely. Why would I buy this? There's another quarter scale Mando out there. It comes with all of that stuff that you were talking about. It's painted in chrome. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is not where it's at. But show me a better quarter scale figure of Mando that comes with the same stuff that the amount of stuff that this thing comes with, it is not even funny. Yes, a head sculpt would have been awesome. Yes, the chrome paint would have been awesome. I'm not denying that. But I'm not reviewing it for accessories it didn't come with. I'm reviewing it for what is in front of me. I could
Yeah,
say the same thing about every meal that I eat. Oh, if only instead of
yeah,
normal beef, this was Wagyu. Oh, if
yeah,
only instead of normal bacon, this was streaky bacon flown in from a
yeah.
specialty place in the world that makes this. I
If
could say that
only.
about everything. I can only appreciate what I have in front of me. And if you
Yeah,
don't, so be it. So be
yeah.
it.
I find you'd be too upset feeling like that all the time. Like you'd never be happy with anything. It's like the Aquaman behind you.
Yes,
You know
I love that
that
Aquaman, by the
figure
way.
copped a lot of hate, that Aquaman, but I love it because it's the only one I got. It's the representation I have for that, because I love him as that character. I want more of him, but that's the best
Yeah.
one there is in that suit, and I love that green and gold. I really hope they remake it, and maybe
Yep.
I would love. It would be great for them to do some adjustments and maybe make it a bit more, not as bulky and fluffy in the top. But
Yep.
until then, I love that because that's the
But
one I
hey,
got.
it's pretty accurate. I saw the real screen use suit in I don't remember what it was a while ago. I saw it at Movie World, Warner Brothers Movie World in
Yeah.
Queensland. They have a studio tour, which, by the way, they are firing up their Batman studio tour. I don't know if you ever thought about going to
Oh,
Movie World to see the studio tour, but they have
hell yeah.
almost all of the Batman suits from all of the live action films. They're going to have them on display,
Wow.
plus the Batmobiles.
Oh
So
man, you
I'm
gotta go to
I'm
that.
going. I'm absolutely
Gotta go
going.
to
I need
that.
to see all that. But they had the Aquaman suit there, and all of the stuff that people were saying was
Wow.
inaccurate about this figure was on the real suit. It's just they
Wow.
CGI'd most of that stuff differently.
Mm,
So this was the practical suit. They would have got reference from Warner Brothers Studio of the practical suit,
yeah.
which is what this is
Yeah.
based off. And it looks even the bulge is there
Really.
in the screen use suit. Even that is accurate.
Even the
So
bulge.
yeah,
Well, he's a man. Jason Momoa's a
you
big
know,
man. He's
you
a
got
big
to,
fella.
yeah, exactly.
He's a
But
big guy.
it was all accurate. I'll see if I can find a photo of that suit
Oh man, because I
because I
love
did
that.
take
And
photos.
at first, when that movie was getting made, I'm like, I don't know how good that suit's going to look, but it blew me away. I loved the look of that. I hope he keeps that a bit more in the next film. Like, I really
Oh
do.
god, here we go. Here's the perfect angle.
Here we go.
So this is I
Looking
took this
nice.
photo in person of suit in person at Warner Brothers Movie World, and here
Let's have
is
a look.
the suit.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
The
it
yeah.
the bulge is definitely present.
Now I know why my wife loves Jason Momoa so much.
Yeah, there you go. But as you can see, the suit, even the puffiness up here on the shoulder pads, like the shoulder pads were actually,
Yeah.
you couldn't be able to tell from the movie, but they were actually a separate piece. You can see they're a separate attachment over the top. And the same thing with the
Yeah.
upper torso. There's actually a gap here. I'm not
Wow.
sure if you can make
I
that
didn't know
out,
that.
but
No, I didn't know
let me
that.
see if I can
Wow.
zoom in to this. There we go. There's actually a gap under here. So it's
Oh
not
yeah.
all one uniform piece. Because if you think about it, he's got to move in this suit. And
Yeah.
that means that all this stuff has to be separate. So most of the stuff that people were complaining about not being accurate is on this suit, including the shape
Wow.
of the belt buckle. People were complaining about the shape of the
Yeah.
belt buckle not being right. But it's accurate to the prop, the real screen used
Yeah.
prop.
Man,
of
I
that
would
suit.
love to have that prop in my like just collection. I love that suit. I love it so
Yeah.
much. I want that, I want the one half statue. Is it Queen
Oh, the
Studio?
half scale. That Queen Studio
Man,
statue is like you cannot beat it. It's next level.
that's a grail for me. If I could have that one day, like I would love to have that one day. Art the Statue Collector did a YouTube review on it. I don't know if
Mhm.
you've seen his review, where he has it by the pool. He has it outside, like,
Oh,
and
nice.
it looks like a waterfall behind it. It looks unbelievable, and I'm just like, man, I want that.
I know
I
I
want
would kill
that so
because
bad.
half scale is just so big. I'm surprised you don't have
Yeah,
the BVS half scale Batman. To be honest with you, that thing is awesome.
yeah, I want it.
I want it
it.
too. I
I
want it
do.
too. But I don't. Space. It just commands such
Yeah,
a big amount of space that you
yeah.
struggle.
I nearly pulled the trigger on Mark 85 bust from
Oh,
Queen
Queen Studios.
Studios. Yeah, I nearly
Yeah.
pulled the trigger on that. I didn't though. It was either between that or the Aquaman, and I'm still probably leaning more towards the Aquaman
Get
if I can find it
100% get the
anyway.
Aquaman. That Mark 50 or it's
Uh,
it's just red. Like there's nothing really to look at. It's just one big smooth
yeah.
red thing.
Also, it's
Like
just
there's
a
not.
bust.
Yeah, it's not the same. Whereas I'm thinking, I think I will. I have to do it. Infinity Studios has offered me an incredible deal to work with them on reviewing their
Oh, hell
tactical
yeah.
suit Batman bust.
Yes.
I can't tell you the details of the deal, those in the chat, but the deal's really good. So I'm strongly considering doing it. And the cool thing about their busts is it's half of the person, like it goes down to their waist. So you got the full arms, the full torso, and the head, which means it's pretty big. So
yeah, and Affleck's big.
I think I have to do it though. I think
just
to establish that relationship with them, even if I put it in storage afterwards, I think I'm gonna have to do it.
Yeah, do it, mate. Do it. I love a lot of their stuff. It's unbelievable. There's so many good companies out there now doing so much great stuff. Like that was it them that's doing the new Superman and Batman busts? You know the
yes, they are. Yes. Yep,
it's
they're doing the
Batman,
right? They're doing Pattinson, and they're doing Superman with his like arms out rage pose. You know, the angry like that face.
Yeah. I want to see what that looks like. Final. I really want to see.
It'll look great. I promise you, it'll look great.
Yeah.
Have you seen their Superman where he's revealing the chest logo? So it's from the end of the Whedon cut. I think I need to get that too. I don't know.
Where are you going to put it?
I don't know.
Right next to your wife's bedside table.
Yeah, I try to say, because I've gotten into the really high end stuff like the Queen Studio statues, which like I think I paid $4,000 for Batman and Joker combined. I was like, okay, this is the most expensive thing I own. Surely I'm able to display this in like a living room, like a main area. She's like, no, don't even think about it.
Oh no!
God damn it!
That's gonna be in like the theater room in the TV, right near the TV. Like, how good would that be?
I would love to have it there, but I don't know. Maybe I'm planning on doing a Justin's Collection HQ at some point, a studio space separate to the house where I can, like an office, if you will, where I can go and film and keep all of the stuff that I can't fit in the house, keep it there. So
that would be epic. Like your man cave, your bat cave, sanctuary away.
Yes,
that'd be cool.
Exactly.
That actually kind of leads me to something I wanted to ask you, mate.
Oh, yes.
Like, so, being that you do this full time, what's your escape away from that? Do you have like a hobby or escape that you do away from that like gets you out?
I did.
Or is it just in it all the time?
I wish I did, but when your hobby becomes your work essentially, which is kind of like how it is for me, there is no escape. I don't.
That's okay. I like that.
I used to be able to say film, but now I'm reviewing film too. So it's like even the things that I would do outside of collecting is still pull me back into making videos, which I love to do. I'm not never complaining, obviously. Video games are probably the one that I can still say sacred. I haven't done any video game reviews. I don't have to record any gameplay footage or anything like that. So I think video games is still the one that I can say I can sit down and play a game, not have to do any work based on that. But most of the other stuff that I'm doing, figure collecting, movie reviewing, it all ties back into the one. I used to be able to say, I used to love high performance cars, right? I used to be a huge fan of high performance cars. I had an Audi S1, which isn't the craziest, most high performance thing, but it's what I could afford at the time. I freaking loved it. We upgraded to an S3, which I loved as well. And then that all went out of the window when I got my Tesla Model 3 Performance. I just have, because it's so fast. It's like nothing I've ever driven. There is just no reason now for me to even consider a high performance vehicle, which I guess is a good thing because there's no servicing costs with Tesla. You don't have to worry about fuel. I mean, it's the best decision I've ever made, but it kind of ruined my love for high performance vehicles, unfortunately.
Is that the one that has the big screen down the middle of the console?
That's the Model S. That was the first one I had was a Model S. It was a P85 Plus. It was a signature edition. It was actually the first one delivered to Australia ever. So that's the one I had. It was rear-wheel drive. It was pretty quick, but I traded that in for the one that was at the showroom in Chadstone. So I bought the last one it was on run out, if you will, and I actually drove it out of the Chadstone showroom. It's a shopping center here in Melbourne, around showroom, and I traded mine in for that. And then, being the crazy collector that I am, I actually traded that car to another owner for the Model 3. We did a deal. We swapped. We swapped cars.
That's cool.
I'd never done anything like that before. And he gave me some cash on top because I'd purchased a full self-driving upgrade, which is like a pre-order, if you will. So the car is essentially going to drive itself at some point whenever Elon decides to, hit the switch. Elon, please.
Please.
So please. I pre-ordered that. Therefore, I was able to get a little bit of cheddar on top, which was always nice. And this new one is smaller. I like smaller vehicles. It's still a sedan. It's a little bit smaller. It's way quicker. 0 to 100 in around 3.2 seconds. So it's
that's
quick.
crazy, man. Like I watch a lot of Joe Rogan, and he talks about how when you get a Tesla, he's like, you can't go back because it makes other cars look dumb. They just make
and slow and like I don't know. Maybe one day I've been looking at Astons. One day I'll get an Aston. I think Bond. A little classy, a little bit classy. Yeah. I feel like whenever you get an Aston, you have to wear a suit. You just have to.
Yeah, you gotta wear a suit and speak with an English accent. I think that's what you got to do.
You must.
And drink,
you must.
Drink martinis.
Of course.
we went and saw Bond actually a couple of weeks ago and broke my heart.
I'm so sorry.
I loved
spoiler for those who haven't seen. Bond.
Spoiler alert! I won't say what happened, but great. It was good. It was a good closure, I think. But
I didn't like it. I didn't like it personally. I love the movie, but I didn't like what happened.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Without letting anybody know, I agree with that. We were nearly. I won't say, but we were talking about it after the film. My wife and I, like, wow, unbelievable. I did not think that could be the way to go, because I don't know who the next Bond's going to be, but I love Daniel Craig as Bond.
Me too.
As an actor, like he's a really cool guy. He seems like a cool guy. I would
love to see. There are so many actors I would love to see playing that role. So I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I think it should be a bit of time in between, right, before they move on to someone else.
Yes, there will be a few years, I would imagine, in between.
Yeah,
I would
just
think
to figure
that there
out
would be. Dope poses for sure, says Philip the Fool. Well, they're not. Mine's not really dope at the moment. I'm gonna let me work on doing something while
well, we can actually start posing if you like. We might as well get one underway.
All right, I have something in mind. I don't know if it's possible, but I have something in mind.
Beautiful. Now we have a guy out there by the name of, I don't know if anybody knows. His name's William. I think Foxification. Now he wants to see a walking pose. So William, if you're out there, I'm going to try and do a walking pose for you, kind of.
All right, John's doing a walking pose. I'm doing something else. Sorry, Will. I'm not doing a walking pose for you.
Yeah, I will.
My walking poses are not good. We know this. Apparently.
Well, I think Will needs to stop bullying you. I think he's bullying you a little bit, and I think he needs to.
There you go, Will.
Just think about how you make people feel, Will. That's not really nice. I don't even know if he's here. I think he's too scared to be here. I think he thinks that we're going to show him up. Now, I haven't had this Batman quite as long as you. Is there any things other things I should be wary of when I'm like moving?
Careful of the knees. Be careful of the knees.
Definitely the knees. Okay.
This is actually my second one, so I'm a little bit more willing to experiment with this one. He can't quite do what I was hoping he was going to be able to do, which is not ideal.
Yeah, even for Batman, right? I love just having him stand there. Like that's why I got that gargoyle base, because I'm like, I just love having him stand there with the use the
what I was going to do was put his leg up on this gargoyle, but I just went to bend the knee and mine is splitting. I'm not sure if you can see right.
Oh my goodness, there. Already.
So I'm not going to do that. That's unfortunate because that's kind of what I wanted to do. Also, the suit sticks to itself. So if you bend the elbow and you keep it like that for too long, it'll actually stick to itself. So I don't know. Now I really don't want to do anything.
Make sure. Yeah. Oh, you don't have to. Don't do it. Just do something like another character pose. Oh shit. Meanwhile, I'm here throwing. Yeah, I think Batman. If you're ever going to do a character pose with someone, Batman's the way to go, because that's what he does. He just stands and looks stoic and looks like a beast. Now, I did do the beef mod to my Batman, like Dean Knight. I did venture into the beef mod realm, and I chucked a couple
cotton pads in
what are they? Yeah, cotton pads in the chest, just to see if I could bridge that gap between the thing, and it actually worked pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that. Like I've experimented a little bit with. I managed to get it in there. I didn't damage anything, thank God. It's always a nerve-wracking experience when I'm trying to do something like that, though.
Oh yes,
as I'm sure most people can attest to. But like I did the fat suit removals with Mando, so I feel pretty confident with doing those. I just used posing with Peter's video. It's so good. Like
nice.
How he explains how to do it. Like I just followed that step by step, and it made it pretty easy, which was good.
It's an awesome video.
Yeah, he. I wish he would do more. Like, I've talked to him before, and I wanted to get him on the show at some point. And I know he's a busy guy, and it's not something that he necessarily has time to do. But I'm like, one day I would love to get him to talk to him about just.
He's a very
He's
busy
just
man.
Yeah, I'd love to just chat to him. Every time he puts something out, it's like, yes, there's another thing Peter's put out.
Yes, there is.
He builds that anticipation. Now, I'm going to have Batman walking, but I'm going to have him holding his gun this time.
I've got the horrible Hot Toys stock cape on, by the way, folks watching. So, the cape is not indicative of how good or bad this figure is. This cape is absolutely atrocious. My one that's here behind me is wearing the Jackson Jew custom.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one I got as well for my DX02, the Jackson cape. And that's really cool.
A little bit of a shooting.
Oh, yeah, nice.
There we go. I have to angle my... This is not a safe pose, for those wondering. I would not leave him... This is not a good angle for him. I would not leave him in this pose for a long time. But there is my boy looking down the sight of his sniper rifle.
And I love that he has gadgets. I love that
he's got a ton of gadgets
in this. Yeah,
Boy's got gadgets. Yeah.
Because he's meant to have gadgets. He's Batman. He's Batman.
All right, let's try something else. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. So if you look at the elbow here,
yeah.
So it's sort of stuck to itself in there.
Already?
So it kind of it kind of sticks to itself. It's hard to explain, but you'll see.
And it actually moves around a lot, doesn't it? Like if I rub over the bicep, the material was quite, I don't know, it feels thinnish type material.
Yes,
it feels like.
It is quite thin.
Which reminds me of Superman's a little bit. His is quite thin, just a different texture.
This one's gonna die for sure. I can feel it.
Yeah, that's I picked up myself because I love posing with Spidey. Of going down the Spidey rabbit hole. I got myself a second Far From Home.
Nice.
I'm like a one I'm going to have for trying to do some crazy stuff with video wise, and then one that I'm going to keep in a character pose probably forever, just to admire that suit because I really do love the black and red. Now, do you like the integrated suit more than the black or red? Like, would you say it's
as my walking pose will? Hopefully, it lives up to your standards. Very straightforward.
Yeah, and if hopefully he doesn't bully us.
He's watching.
We don't meet his standards.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't bully us. My favorite MCU Spidey suit now is the new upgraded suit without the black lines on the belt. So that's now my new favorite.
Yes.
I'm
looking forward to that
tech suit. I love the tech suit. Don't get me wrong, but that is now my ultimate. It's just so clean. There's no extra panels where there doesn't need to be. So I'm all for that. But I love integrated suit. The look of integrated suit is like next level.
Yeah. And then you add in the diorama base. Oh man, love me some dioramas. Definitely love me some dioramas. They are the way to go.
Poor Batman, he's not doing so well.
Yeah, this Batman's he's been through the battles for you.
Yeah, he's starting.
I'm probably going to cry on screen if I do something as well. FYI, guys, I will cry.
Be careful. Yeah, because you spent a big chunk of change on that.
Yeah, people don't want to know what I spent on this one. And hey, that's a good lesson. I'll tell you guys, I went above and beyond and spent probably too much than what people would want to spend on this figure. Lesson learnt by me. In saying that, I'm glad I did because I love it. It's one of my favorite. It's probably, I don't know about you, Justin, but this is probably one of my favorite figures. And that's funny because whilst Hot Toys don't do a lot of DC, this DC figure is one of my favorite figures there is.
No, he's awesome. He should be in. If you have him, then he is awesome.
Yeah, he's just like the look of Ben Affleck as well in the face. I think they've captured it. The eyes, you've got all the different eyes. You've got all these different just nuanced pieces that it comes with, and he's jacked. I also love a jack. I do love me a jack Batman. I do love my Batman to be jacked. Now I'm going to have it like he's kind of stepping forward a bit. I don't know if... Hang on.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's starting to walk forward a little bit.
You got it.
And then the cape can sell, like having the adjustable cape, that sells anything. Like you just use that to,
Mine's gone back in a museum pose because his suit is degrading in front of me.
Yeah, he's on the edge. That's what I worry about with the heat. So someone mentioned in a chat, Surfer Rosa, had we gone the 40-degree heat on? Yeah, it was hot. It was hot. Let's put it that way. I was panicking about my figures. You know what I actually did? Because I normally keep my guys in museum poses on my shelf anyway, because I only pose them up for the videos and then I put them back. I don't generally leave them in crazy positions long term because at the minute I like to, I want to keep them as pristine as I can, but also have fun with the posing. So yeah, so I pose them up to have fun. And like after this show, I will take him out of this pose and put him back into what we had him in to start with, and the next time I want to play with him, I'll get him out and do something else. But let's see.
My other one's looking real fresh though. This one has been through the battle. This one in the cabinet is looking pristine.
Yeah, that's good. You want to keep one
kind of like he's hulking, he's stepping forward a little bit, kind of like what you have there, but a little bit less. Yeah,
and with Batman, you don't need that much more. Like you really don't. Like he does dynamic stuff, but he doesn't need to.
And the benefit of this Batman is you can bring the arms really close. That's what Dean always goes on about, is you can bring the arms really close in by his sides and give him that sort of like hulking, like, which you can't really do with a lot of other Batman figures because their biceps are so bulky, you can't actually bring their arms in by their sides. But this guy, you can absolutely do it. And a nice neutral pose is possible.
Yes. And I like that. When their arms are out too far, it kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't look
like Arkham City, who is impossible to get his arms down by his sides.
Yeah, that's a tough one. So like everything about this, like the coloring on the belt, I love the details on the belt and the scratches on the suit. Like just that Kevlar look, I think is one of the things I love about it so much. Is just that the look of Kevlar or what it looks like, the material. It just, like I love that hulking. That look that Batman has, and the neck as well. Like the neck has a lot of range of motion. Has a ton of range of motion.
I might put a Ben Affleck head sculpt on this second one and put him in the display just with the cowl off. Maybe I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know what to do with that. I don't know why the hell I bought this. It was so.
You could have him holding the tech cowl. You could do the tech cowl. Or if you got that workshop that he comes with, you could have him with the head.
So dusty.
Head sculpt and the cowl together. You could have him on his workshop with his cowl, like he's doing. I think Young Bum did a picture like that with Batman at his work desk with the tech cowl out. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, people. But yeah, well, that's my walking pose. What do you reckon?
Oh, I didn't realize you could take the tech cowl off this thing. That's nice.
Oh, yeah, I actually haven't.
Just
done that either. That's cool.
Nice. I'm hoping that
such a great
whenever the third-party Alfred comes out, I can give him the tech cowl.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool. There we go. I've just got him holding the...
Oh, I love that.
I was going to bring Superman in, but yeah, like that's just something simple. I probably wouldn't leave him in it too long because of the arms being bent like that.
Yeah, when you unbend the arms, if it's hot there today, if you unbend them, you'll see they'll have stuck to themselves.
Yeah, let's have a look. Let's test it out because it is warm. And under these lights, it's also pretty warm too.
Yes, sir.
Does anyone else?
This guy is great for posing. This guy is really good for posing because his fabric undersuit allows it. So, if you all are wondering what is a DC figure that you can really go crazy with your posing on, this guy. I'm gonna leave him like this forever because he can pull it off, no problem. You don't have to worry about the suit damaging because it's all spandex, and the armor pads are velcroed on over the top. So you can dial in the pose, put the pads back on if you've taken them off, and then away you go.
Yeah.
God, I love this Nightwing. He's so good.
He does look really cool. And it's cool that he's an Aussie actor too. Like, we're just taking over.
Correct. Yes.
Correct. Taking over. Correct. I can tell you, and I can confirm, it did stick a little bit in the left arm here.
It will. It absolutely will.
It's coming loose now.
Just
but yeah,
be gentle.
I It was only in there for like 2 minutes.
literally not long at all. We've been talking while you've been doing it. So
Come on, Batman.
the best BVS Batman to pose is Nightmare Batman because he's got a coat on. So worst case scenario, you get another coat, which Daft Toys made one, 1/6 Kit made one. I bought spares just in case.
Nice.
And the pants are fabric. So yeah, okay, maybe the suit underneath the pants and underneath the jacket are getting damaged, but you'll never see it. So
you're never going to see it.
Yeah.
Never going to see it. Yeah, I'm going to leave his arms straight for a minute while we chat, just so we can.
Good idea.
Not too bad either. Like he's just standing there. This is actually the first time I've really played with him since I've had him, because I've been a little bit too scared, but I guess the other one was because I've just been doing other videos and things that like. My plan for him one day is to do. I want to do before he falls. Is to do a little 10-scene story, kind of like what I did with Hawkeye, and then have him with like Superman, Aquaman, and I'll probably wait till I'm getting the Wonder Woman 84, the classic suit. I like that look, and that sculpted hair looks unbelievable.
I might get a few of those head sculpts and upgrade my other two Wonder Women as well. I think.
Now, is it just me? But I feel like the Justice League Wonder Woman, it just doesn't look as much like Gal Gadot as I don't know. I just don't see it. Like, I don't know if it's because of the hair. I just don't see her as much in the Justice League one as compared to the new one that's coming.
Oh, the new one is absolutely 10 times better, but I think that Justice League one gets a lot of flack. When it came out, people were saying all sorts, but I mean, this conversation's come up recently as well. There's only so much you can tell without seeing it in person. So when I got it...
Yeah, that's true.
I was quite surprised at how good it was. I like it better than the BVS Wonder Woman. I think that one looks very... anime almost, like really thick black eye makeup and very soft features, where the Justice League one, it turned up the skin texture a lot, so it looks like a person, obviously. So I would say that it's better than BVS, but then Wonder Woman 84 is better than both of those other two that came before it, obviously.
Yeah, that I think I don't know. I think it was I think the way they've done their hair on that one for me reminds me of
hair more. Kills it. Rooted hair kills it. It whatever likeness you had, if that hairstyle is just 1% wrong, the likeness is out the window. That's why I never liked rooted hair, because I'm not great at styling 1/6 scale hair. Like, who
I'm not great at styling hair at all.
Me neither. Like, who is great at styling that kind of hair? Because if it's all down to you. So if you are not confident and you're not capable of making it look how it's supposed to look, it's not going to look right. The sculpt can be as good as anything, but if the hair looks terrible, the whole thing's out the window. So sculpted hair, for 95% of collectors who don't want to faff around with rooted hair,
we don't need to worry about it. We don't need to worry about it. Yeah, I think sculpted hair for me. I don't think I have. I don't have any rooted hair figures at the minute. Rooted hair. I don't have any. So
Catwoman,
for me, sculpted is
an exception, I think, because that new Catwoman, I had no problems with this first Catwoman because it's pinned right back with the mask and it's locked in place. It's not going anywhere. It may as well be sculpted.
Yeah, okay.
Straight back down, no problems. Okay. So,
and her hairstyle was like that too, and her likeness, I think, on the face looks a lot better than the original one that they've done.
Correct.
Again, I've only seen the pictures, but I think I'll probably pick, I love Dark Knight. I love that trilogy.
You got to get Catwoman. Come on.
Yeah, I got to have Catwoman. And I actually quite like her as an actress. She's one of those actresses to me where, yeah, man. Oh, mate. The base, I want the Bat Pod. I probably wouldn't put her in that pose on the Bat Pod. Batman, though, I would have him straddling over it or standing over it.
He can go there holding the EMP gun, just like we see in Dark Knight Rises. Yeah.
Have him there with that. Have her with the other backdrop. It's got to make me think that we're going to see another Ledger Joker.
Correct. We will. I absolutely guarantee we will see him. I don't know when.
And I hope so, because I don't have one. I hope so, because I don't have one, and I would love one. Yeah, and Bane. Give me another chance to get a Bane. I want a Bane.
Give us a Bane.
I want a Bane.
That 2-pack with Ra's al Ghul and Bruce Wayne from Present Toys is coming out on Wednesday, I think. And I know people are like, the head sculpts or whatever. Totally agree. Head sculpts aren't perfect, but I've wanted that ninja look forever. So I am so glad that we're going to get the ninja look, and they've got split cut boot design, which I love. Split cut boot design. and they've got
Yes.
removable masks. I'm just going to take the Toy Fair exclusive Batman Begins Bruce Wayne head sculpt and put it on there, or the new Batman Begins figure that's coming out. Put that head
Yes.
sculpt on it.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
like that's the cool thing. That like reminds me of my the kit bash thing that I want to do. Like that's the
Yes.
cool stuff you can do when you have multiple
Yes,
pieces.
yes,
You can
yes.
build
Did you see my
stuff
Best
like
Benhan video recently?
yes, yes.
Something like that. I
Mate,
love kitback. There's so much fun.
that's fun for me. I'm like the fact that
Yeah.
because we all like to hunt for things. We all like to hunt and find figures and acquire something. Imagine like building your own, like how getting more
Yeah.
people encouraged into building their own figure, and it's not that hard. You've just
It's not
got
that
You've already
hard.
got we've already got the hardest piece, which is the head sculpt.
Yep,
To
it's
find,
the
right?
story that comes with collecting all our bits and pieces. Like my Endgame Tony here, which I'm so happy with.
I'm getting
think
that too, by the way.
I
You
think it
enabled
saves
me.
this head sculpt. Like, I think it honestly, I
Yeah.
think it saves this head sculpt.
Yeah, I've got that one. I've got that head sculpt, so that's what I'm
Well,
going to
this
be
is
doing.
exactly what yours is going to look like. Then it honestly, I'm so happy with how this turned out. It exceeded all of my expectations when I placed the order for it. And then the Tuxedo Tony, I think he now is like one of the most impressive things in the Iron Man display. So if I turn this around, there he is. So he's
your
sitting there
Spider-Man
front
display
and
is one
center.
of the best.
Oh,
That
Spider-Man
is
is...
I love your Spidey. That is one of the best displays I've ever seen. I have to tell you, mate, that is unbelievable.
I've got black and gold suit there with Strange. So I had a spare Doctor Strange because he's the solo one from the solo movie.
Yes.
And I put him now in there. And then there's my Tony from
that's awesome.
Tuxedo, front and center there. I didn't use the Iron Man 3 suit in the end. I went back to the propulsion test suit that he came wearing.
Yeah.
Just because I think that's a little bit more iconic than the blue suit. But I still have it. If I ever get a spare head sculpt, I can use it.
Yeah, that's cool. Like this whole kit bash thing's got me thinking. Like, I want to make a Quentin Beck. I want to make. I've got an idea for Cap. I want it because I've got 2 Endgame caps. I want to get a Fison body, a jacked Fison body, and have him like either with the white T-shirt, or like I just want to have him in like how you see him in the first Cap movie when he's or was it Avengers 1 when he's hitting the punching bag. I want to kind of recreate that look. I don't know if anybody's done that. I'm sure people have.
I think Young Bum has.
Has he? I'll have to go and check.
I think so. It looks real good.
Yeah, I want to have a cap like that because I've got the Winter Soldier 2-pack where he's got the jeans and the boots and the that
great 2-pack, by the way.
It's a great 2-pack. I nearly sold it, and I've never really sold anything, but I nearly sold that back in the day. And then I was like, let me just have a play around. And then I ended up doing my video. I did a 10-scene posing showcase with them, and now they've reignited the love for Cap. Those 2 figures. I'm like,
you'll find that.
Yeah, I love doing that. I'm like, I can never sell that. What was I thinking? Like, I'm an idiot. I need to keep that in my collection now.
Tobor says Justin, aka Split Cut Boot. Yes, Tobor. I'll take the name Split Cut Boot because I love my Split Cut Boot.
You need to have a split cut boot. Like,
there is nothing worse than a fixed ankle. It is so limiting. Just even for a museum pose, it's limiting, which is crazy to say.
Yeah. Like, well, Nebula, right? Isn't she like that?
Nebula. Yeah. It is so hard to work with those ankles because you just want to have them in a neutral A stance. And like Captain Marvel, for instance, this would be considered a museum pose. But if these ankles could not pivot inwards, the feet would not be laying flat on the table. They'd be at a weird angle. It would look terrible. So never underestimate a good split cut boot.
You're right, because I think that takes away the realism too. If you can't get the feet looking like, people don't stand like that. Like,
no, with their feet on an angle, like just and the same thing with the wrists. Like, so I like to I'm trying to find an example. I like to angle the wrists slightly in, like Batman here. Yeah. You can see that the wrists are slightly angled in. Yeah. There's a curve to the arms because it gives you that hulking look. Whereas if they're sitting just flat, say this is one solid fixed piece, and you have to swap out the whole gauntlet, then it's a little bit more limiting. Like Darth Vader, for instance, you've got no wrist articulation. They're fixed in position.
Oh wow!
So as long as you are using them for what they are intended, then it works fine. Like holding the belt boxes or pointing. But if you have a certain thing in mind, like you want to angle the wrists in to give him that hulking, menacing look, you can't do it.
Yeah, and I think those are the nuances that create epic poses. Like I think when we get confused sometimes when people talk about posing figures. Like for me, sometimes like the cape. Like I've had him in a just standing with the cape articulated for ages because the cape blows the piece up. But like if you can't move a hand or move the foot or change the stance, for me, I love posing like legs in the leg stance. So even just in a simple standing position, you can tweak it so it looks more natural, or even how you make them lean back a bit with the head forward a bit, or like simple touches can elevate a pose. Like
or
it
take the
reminds
head
me
and tilt it down a bit, give him that
yeah,
menacing
all
looking
those
forward
little
look.
tweaks, like all those little tweaks make all the difference. It doesn't need to be crazy twisting, doing unbelievable things. Like that's not what I'm into posing about. I'm into like I like trying to make it look real. When I do my poses, I'm like, how can I make it look real?
Look as real as possible.
As real as possible, or emulate what I've seen that character do. Like with Spidey, I always look at pictures of Tom Holland from the movie, or how can I get it looking close to what he's done? Or like with Iron Man, how can I, pick a scene that Iron Man's done or whatever, rather than do outlandish like wrist movements or crazy positions. Like sometimes a simple tweak, like just moving the hand, like D Knight says it a lot, and you're right before. If you just twist the bicep in,
he turns the bicep in, and it gives you that broad, thick look.
Just a twist of the bicep, and you'll see a lot of people like when they just have them. Don't fall on me, Batman. Stay. They'll have that just straight, but like human body movement, we're not just straight like that. We're generally twisted in, or our hands are twisted in, or like when Iron Man's blasting, you think about like your biceps.
Yes,
diagonally.
always. If you are doing a repulsor blasting pose, always do the pose with your arm first, because as you can see, my elbow is pointing inwards. It's not possible for me to have my elbow up and then have my hand
like that.
going like it, because if I go to turn my hand this way, this automatically tilts inwards. So every time I see someone with the elbow up and the hand like I cannot even replicate that. So
can't do it.
Do the pose first. Do the pose first.
Because then you're like twisting your entire forearm around.
Correct.
And you would never do that. It's not natural.
It's not possible. Correct. So
not a natural
just
movement.
try the pose yourself first. And if it looks cool and it looks anatomically correct, because that's the one thing that'll kill a pose. If it doesn't look like it's anatomically correct, it's not going to look good.
Yeah. And I think that's the key when it comes to like poses like this, because learning about this suit and how it is, I'm not going to do anything crazy and leave him in anything crazy long term. Then for me, it's about, okay, how can I just get a simple stance looking good and use the cape to, sell the dynamicness of it, I guess. And that's what you really need from me, Batman. Especially, I got the Justice League Superman just in this cabinet.
Yes.
Here. And, I'm super cautious with that suit, because that is... that's one I don't want to F up. I am getting the 2-pack actually next year with the Nightmare Batman, because I don't have Nightmare Batman, and I want that.
You need to get yourself a coat, sir, if you haven't already. You need to get yourself a coat.
No, I don't, but I want it. Yes, I don't have it, but I definitely want to get it.
I would suggest, I haven't reviewed it yet, but I'm planning on it. I would suggest the Daft Toys one. If you are thinking about it, this I think is better than the 1/6 kit one by a slim margin, but I still think this one is better.
Because that other coat,
you can get 2, in fact, in case it gets damaged or something, and these are long since sold out. Get 2 of these.
Hell yeah! And do you get it from? Is that on Comic Santorum, or when do you normally get?
I don't know if it's on there now, but when I film the video, it should be. It should already be on there. But if it isn't, then when I film it, then it'll go up.
Yeah, I definitely want that. And it looks like we got another visitor. Man of Heart is in the house.
Dante.
What's going on, Dante?
Hello, Dante. Hello.
Thanks for being here, kind sir. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, man. I was going to bring out Superman and have him here, but there's no way I was going to be able to fit him on here. I did do one thing. I don't know if you've ever thought about this. I undid the zip on the back, just naughtily, and I did. I don't remember whose trick it was. If it was posing with Peter or someone, I'm forgetting.
Yeah, Peter's one where you hook the flight stand underneath the back of the. Yeah, that was Peter's. Peter's trick. Yeah. Genius.
So
genius,
absolute genius. Because now I don't have to worry about a clamp on the wall, and I can keep him in a hovering pose, which is one of my favorite poses to do with him.
Yep.
And then because I got the cape for him as well, and that cape is unbelievable. I mean, I'm cape crazy. I got a cape for Thor.
Yeah.
I got a cape for Superman.
That was so stressful. Switching that cape out was so. I didn't want to do it. Jackson was like, "Trust me, it will look so much better with the Drake cape on. trust me. And I was like, I really don't want
Yes.
to. And he's like, just fucking do
Yeah.
it. And I did it. And I'm
Yes.
so glad I did it because his cape, it is so good. I'm so happy with this Superman. So I got that third party head. That's got the hair going the right
Yes.
way, the accurate part. I got that
Yes.
head. I posed him just like the prime 1/2 scale, just standing there with
Nice.
the slight tilt to the body, arms down by his side, but looking into the distance sort of thing. I'm
Yes.
so happy with how that Justice
Classic
League Superman
Superman.
looks now. Yeah.
So it's such a classic one, and I love him as I do love him as Superman. I really wish they
Me too.
I just wish it had gone another way with that franchise.
We'll see how we go.
Yeah, I hope they do. I would love to see him back. I really hope they do. Like Zack Snyder's Justice League compared to the original.
Loved it.
Like, mate,
I've watched it 3 times now, and I could watch it any day of the week. I could watch it any day.
Yeah. Yeah. We my whole family loves it. Me and my wife and my daughter, we all love it. Like I think
but only in widescreen. I wouldn't watch it again in 4:3. I hate the 4:3. I would only watch it again in widescreen.
Actually, I did. How did you do that? Because I haven't done that. Did you just change the ratio?
So I went on I'm not sure how you do it on all TVs, but I went on my so I was watching it on LG TV. Yeah. And when I put it on, I just went to the aspect ratio settings and I just changed it to widescreen.
Oh, wow.
And yes, I lose the top and the bottom of the image, but that's how it was for the theatrical release of every movie. They always crop. That's so right. I didn't really care that I was missing out on a bit of sky and a bit of the ground.
That's right.
Honestly, it is such a different experience watching it in live stream. Widescreen. It is so much better. So much better.
Yeah, I'm doing that. We'll do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to give it a crack. I got a Sony, so I'm surely they can do it. Sure. I love that movie, mate. I love his slow motion and things like that. I do love that style. I do love that style, especially for comic book characters.
There is an ultimate fan edit, a fan cut, if you will, where they went frame by frame and readjusted it to widescreen. So they moved the frame by frame, moved it up and down just to make it sure everything was in frame, which I didn't have an issue with when I watched it, but sure, if you want to do that. And they also changed some of it back to normal speed, so they got rid of some of the slow-mo, which apparently makes it better. I haven't downloaded that cut, which I'm planning on doing, just to give it a go. I don't have a problem with the slow-mo either, but I would like to see some of that stuff in normal speed.
Yeah, normal speed. See what it looks like too. Yeah. It always reminded me of he's trying to do comic book frames. It was same with 300. Like 300 was a big one for me back in the day. I loved that movie.
Yes.
That was a while ago.
Cuervo says, "How do you all like your steaks? Medium rare, friend.
Medium rare. Not well done. So
not well. No.
Isn't there another guy? I think it's that same Will guy, right? Doesn't he like it? He likes it cooked, right?
Will is like he's like an 80-year-old man trapped in a younger man's body. He likes a tasteless dry steak. One day I'm going to get him down to a good steakhouse. We'll eat a nice piece of Wagyu, medium rare.
Yes.
He'll know.
We need to get him down here in Australia. He's got to come to the thing at Movie World.
But then again, maybe it's going to be like the Iron Studios thing. No matter how good that steak is, even if it's a $200 marble score 10 steak, it doesn't matter how good it is, he still would be like, nah, well done is the way.
Yeah.
He's already set in stone. Like you could never change it. Of course. We love you.
We love you. We just got to get you down here to Australia and you'll be trapped. It's okay.
I'm trying. He doesn't like flying this long distances, so I'm trying to convince him, but I don't think he will.
Yeah. I think we've got someone asking, sorry guys, if we've missed some chats here. Word Nerd asking about Black Widow poses. I don't have a Black Widow, unfortunately. I'm probably going to pick up the new one that's coming out because I do want to have her in my collection. And I probably want Yelena too because I do like her. I'd really like her as
Yelena is so funny in Black Widow. I just cannot even. She steals the show. Man. I need to have that figure. Yeah,
I can imagine getting her and putting her in that landing pose if she can do it.
The pose.
And doing the pose. It's such a pose thing. I think
she should be able to do it because the suit that she's wearing is the same as Batman Beyond. Have you got Batman Beyond?
Oh, I don't have Batman Beyond. No, I think someone in the chat does though. Let me scroll back up. I know someone's in here with a Batman Beyond. Sorry if I've got your name, mate. put me on the spot. I can't remember.
Hope you guys
But,
do a zombie Deadpool pose off, says that guy, Mark. Yeah, my zombie Deadpool should be coming today, actually. So expect
nice.
a review today, I guess.
Nice. Man, you
I
can
don't know.
just bang it out so quick. I get like a figure and I'm like, okay, in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'm going to have this video done.
Yeah, it takes me a lot of time, but now sometimes companies send me like samples of stuff. And if I'm not quick
Yeah.
enough, they message me like, "Hey, so where's the
Oh,
video on
really?
this?" Like, where? Yeah, like recently, I got the Lim Toys Gunslinger, the Arthur Morgan, and that
Oh,
one
yeah.
because it's such an involved piece, I wanted to take my time and play the game first and then review it. But it turns out it's a very long game, so there's no way I could possibly finish it. So I haven't reviewed it. It's been here for like a week, and Lim Toys messaged me and they're like, "Hey, knocking on the door, hello, just checking, is it coming?" And I'm like, "Yes, okay, fine, I'll film it next week."
Wow.
I haven't played the game as much as I wanted to, but I'll film it anyway.
Yeah.
So,
I only played about half of that game. I loved it. I just never
it's a
got
lot.
around to
It
finishing
is a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an endeavor. Like the last game I really committed to was Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
I
Got to finish. I played that twice,
finished it.
actually.
Yeah, it's so good.
They
I got
added
my
the new
little
suits.
5-year-old. She loves it. Really? Oh,
Yeah, they added the
black and
integrated
gold?
suit and the black and gold. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, I gotta get that. I gotta go
Yeah,
back
I'm
in
gonna
there.
go.
We're at the
I'm
point
gonna go
now
download.
where we're you go, sorry.
I've got to
You
go
gotta
down.
download
Got to
it?
go download that. It's free if you have the ultimate version. So you had to buy the ultimate version of Miles, which came with the upgraded version of
Yeah.
PS5 Spidey. So if you have the
Yeah, you
ultimate
can do it.
version, then you have the suits for free. Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't have that. Damn it. I do. I still need to play Miles. I've only
Oh my
played
god!
the original
What are you
Spidey.
doing?
Yeah, I haven't
Go
even.
and play it.
Mate, I'm so far behind. Like, me and my daughter still play the first Spidey because we've completed all the missions. So she likes to run around and just, attack pedestrians. And then when she comes into an actual fight, I have to take over. So I take over and then do that. So we just run around, fight people, and take photos at the moment. So no real story playing at the moment, unfortunately. But I'll get there eventually.
Do Miles. Cuervo says, "I just picked up a Hot Toys Daredevil." It's great timing, Cuervo, because we're hopefully, I don't know in what film, I don't know when, but Charlie Cox, my favorite Daredevil out of the two. I love Ben Affleck, but his Daredevil just wasn't it.
Yeah,
we're gonna see him again. So will the suit look different? Maybe the suit will look different. I don't know. If it doesn't, then you are sorted, my friend. You have a figure before it comes out. For once.
Yes. Now, have you ever seen him in a show called Boardwalk Empire by chance?
No.
Oh, mate, if you ever get the time, it's adding new things in. There's a show called Boardwalk Empire. If anybody in the chat's ever seen it, Charlie Cox is in that for a little bit. Unbelievable show. It's got Steve Buscemi in it, and it's set in like, in the 1940s, like about. What's it about? It's produced by Mark Wahlberg, actually. It's set in the time of like bootlegging and like when alcohol was illegal and stuff like that. It's also got one of my favorite Prohibition. That's it. He plays. He's Irish in that. I think he's natural because he's Irish in real life, right?
I think
let's just say
British.
Oh, British. Okay.
I think.
I think he's Irish in the show, and his character in that. I can't say anything to give it away, but one of the best shows. No one is safe in that show. It's one of those shows. No one is safe. Slow burn. It also has Michael Shannon, who's one of my favorite actors. General Zod. Unbelievable performances in that show, and Charlie Cox's. I was a fan of his from that. So when he came into Deadpool, I was like, Daredevil. I was like, oh, Charlie Cox, he's awesome, and he has a really big moment in that show which will just blow people's minds when they watch it.
All right, I'll check it out.
So seeing him as Daredevil, he was unbelievable. I just love him as Daredevil. He's awesome.
Yeah, me too. I love him as Daredevil. I can't wait to see him again. I don't know when, but it's not an if, it's just a when now, which is my preferred out of the two. If I had to pick between,
what do you think? What do you think about John Bernthal coming back? Because I feel like he's going to come back now.
If you are going to do a Punisher, if you are using this version of Daredevil and you are using that version of Kingpin, which is not confirmed, but I would love to see it.
It sounded like him.
Sounds confirmed-ish. Then I think that's pretty much a given. I think.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Because I think he might pop up in Armor Wars. That's just me thinking, because I started thinking
Ooh.
about the Punisher War Machine
Mhm.
outfit. I'm like, imagine if they bring him in and he takes over a War Machine
Oh, yeah.
outfit. Him and Don Cheadle together. Ooh, that could be sweet if they did
They would
that.
kick some ass. I mean, why would you, if you were Marvel, and let's be honest, Daredevil and Punisher were two of the best received of those Netflix shows. Very well
Yeah.
received.
Yeah.
Why would you want to reset and do all that hard work again?
Yeah.
Where it was done to such an exceptional standard, and it was already kind of soft in the MCU already.
Yes.
So I think it would be too much work, and the payoff would not be worth it unless they do something so mind-blowing that would already trump the many, many, many hours of time that we have spent with those characters already in the MCU, technically.
Yeah. I hope they do. I mean, I feel like, Kevin Feige knows what he's doing. He seems to know what he's doing.
Lael is here. Hello, Lael.
Oh, what's up, Lael? Where'd you go? Oh, there you
He's
are.
here.
It's going to punish him. Make him stretch the imagination. What? Oh, you're hilarious. What's up, mate? Thanks for being here. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm calling it. Let's mark it down. Day one. If he appears in Armor Wars, Johnny Boy called it. I'm calling it. I feel like that suit, him in that suit, I just feel like that would be epic. And putting him and Don Cheadle together would be pretty cool, for sure.
Yep.
Now, before, as I know you're a busy man, mate, so I won't keep you too much longer. I guess one of the other main things I wanted to talk to you about, I guess, was CollectorCon that you mentioned on the chat the other day. Like, how's that come along? Like, what's going on with that? Because that's next week,
so CollectorCon is next weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend. So the 18th and 19th. So I've actually put you down for a panel, sir. I don't know if you are interested in doing that.
Oh, hell yeah.
You're down on a posing panel with Lael and Jetta Patrol. The timing of which I will message you and we'll sort it out. But I've got the schedule here, actually. I can't reveal it because I don't have all the talent fully locked in yet.
Yeah, mate. No, I'm definitely in, mate. Anything I can do would be awesome. Awesome fun.
So we're planning on potentially having you the second panel in, which is a posing panel with you and Lael and Jetta Patrol, and potentially, if the timing is how we want to keep it, 10:45 a.m. on a Sunday. I don't know if you're available. Hopefully you are.
That's perfect. No, that's perfect for me, mate. Brilliant. Is that Australian time? Yeah.
That's Australian time, yes.
Yeah, so if that's 10:45 for you, that would be that's perfection for me. That's like 7:45, which is
very good.
Is perfect for me. Hell yeah.
Very good. So yes, CollectorCon is coming. Stay tuned. We're literally every day I am working on it. We're messaging other content creators, and some content creators have reached out to me saying, "Oh, how do I get involved?" It is so jam-packed this year that unless we did an 8-hour, 9-hour stream, we couldn't fit everyone. So I apologize. We cannot possibly fit everyone, but next year we may even do a 2-day event, and then we can fit more people.
Yeah.
But this year,
that's cool.
This year, unfortunately, we can't fit more than the people that we have assigned. There's already like 2 to 3 people per panel, which is crazy, and some pretty big names, which I'm excited to announce if we manage to get that happening squared away. So
it's so good that you're doing that, mate. Like, I think it's such a great thing for the community, and like as someone who's in the community, it's awesome to be like a dream to be a part of, but awesome to watch. Like, I love that stuff. So, yeah, looking forward to it. And to pose up with
my way of giving back.
That'd be great fun. Hell yeah.
Exactly. It's my way of giving back. I mean, y'all have been so supportive of my channel, and to be able to open up my audience, 420,000 subscribers, to those of y'all who have a smaller subscriber base, hopefully it can boost your image and boost your channel and show people how awesome y'all are, so that they can find you and connect with you. So
I think that
any way that I can give back, then I can. And giveaways, so many giveaways coming. So stay tuned for that.
Well, hopefully, here's me doing a little plug. I've got my Batman DxO2 I'm giving away. If I can hit my 1,000 subscribers by then, I can give it away on the thing. That would be epic. I'm giving it away once I hit 1K, so I'm getting close.
I've never seen a DxO2 in person. So one day I'm going to buy. I think I'm going to buy a DxO2. I'll do a big comparison video. DxO2, DX12. Armory and DX19 all in one.
Yes, that would be
I'll give it a
awesome.
go.
He's a great figure. He's an old figure, but
Yes, he is.
he's an old figure. But he looks cool. He looks cool. It's got the light up eyes, the gun. He comes with a ton of
I want to
accessories.
have him with the Hong Kong backpack on. That's the only figure that came with the backpack from the Hong Kong scene.
Yeah, that's cool. I do have that, and the gun's pretty cool. It like moves, and you can slide it in and out, and all that type of stuff. It's really cool. So yeah, if we get there, I'll give that away on the show. That would be epic. That would actually be really cool.
Awesome.
Give it away to someone.
Even better.
But yeah, look, I wanted to say before we wrap up, like, you're the first person when I started watching YouTube, and I don't even know why I went on YouTube to look at it. I never really used YouTube much, right? Ever. Like, I hardly ever watched YouTube. In fact, the only thing I was really watching on YouTube was these guys called Buttery Bros, who's I'm into. Like, I like watching CrossFit and all that type of stuff. I enjoy that side of it. I'm big into fitness stuff, and I would watch their channel. And then when I first started taking photos of my Ironmans, because I collected for a while without doing anything, I'm like, I wonder if anybody's done anything on these things on YouTube. So I typed in Iron Man, and who popped up?
Was discovered.
And who popped up? You popped up, and I'm like, oh, let me check this. And I still remember the dun 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 dun, and I was like, oh, that's a cool intro. It's like 80s theme. That's where I grew up.
Yeah,
and
there you
the
go.
rest is history.
It isn't something that I take lightly. By the way, those who have discovered collecting through searching on YouTube and my video popping up as the #1 search result, which I'm so thankful that it does because of you're amazing people. I don't take that lightly. So every time that I make a video, I treat that as this could potentially be someone's introduction to figures for the first time. So maybe that's why I don't skew inherently negative, because there is so much positive here that it brings joy, right? There's no point coming on and moaning and complaining and the bloody wrist peg this, like, maybe people don't even know what you're talking about. So that's why every time we look at that horrible display base that Hot Toys gives us, I would be like, oh yeah, this display base is shit. I'd like, what if this is the first time you've ever seen that? What if you don't know why this display base is so bad and you think I'm just complaining? So I will, even though I've said it 55 times, I will say it 55 more, because this could be someone's first experience with this figure. I want to tell you the good and bad and why that is the case, because I treat every video as potentially someone's introduction to the entire thing. The entire
majority of the time it is, mate, because that's what it was for me. I had no idea about what to look for, like what everything was. I just had the figures because at that time I just saw them, and I loved toys as a kid. Like, one of my favorite toys as a kid was a Soundwave that I had, actually. Ooh. So when 3-0 brought out Soundwave, I had to get it. Like, I got that 3-0 Soundwave, and it's unbelievable.
I do need to review this boy, which they 3-0 are great with sending out samples. So they sent one to Optibotimus, they sent one to Fwoosh, and they sent one to... Who else did they send one to? Prime versus Prime, an upcoming YouTube channel, up and comer. They sent one to me too, but those channels are so much more ahead of me that they've already got them out. But my backlog is so great that I haven't been able to review Revenge of the Fallen Prime. I cannot wait to do it. I really do.
I cannot wait to get it. I wanted to tell you about a piece that I got recently. Actually, I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a Masterpiece series.
I've got the entire Masterpiece line. So
you got the Starscream.
I have Starscream. I got Thundercracker recently. Skywarp is not out yet, obviously. Nice. I have the movie ones. I've got Beast Wars, and I've got G1. I've got the entire line. So I'm all in on Transformers. Don't even worry.
Mate, I'm all in on Transformers too. I'm working on I got Soundwave. Now I've got that Starscream, Bumblebee, and Optimus Prime. I'm going to do like a big battle, like story of them fighting, and I want to get that Optimus Prime you got there though.
Did you see there's a third-party Shockwave coming out from the Bumblebee movie as well, and there is a Cliff Jumper. So
wow,
yeah, you need to get on. I'll send you a link to those, because those I'm excited to get.
Hell yeah. I'm eyeing off the Masterpiece series, Megatron. I want that Megatron.
Oh, yeah, Megatron
that transforms into the gun. Oh, man, I want
MP36. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yes, I want that. I just don't know how they're going to stack up against the Hot Toys Optimus I got. I think they're going to be a bit small compared to him.
Yes, they will definitely be.
Yeah. that's a shame because I wanted to have them fighting, doing some type of battle. So that'd be cool.
I'll send you this off.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Hell yeah. But yeah, I love me Transformers. When I saw that that Masterpiece series, and because I'm a big Starscream fan, I love just something about him. I love how annoying he is. I just love his I love planes. So I love the fact that he's a plane. And I'm like, I saw that, I had to get it, and that opened up another new world. I didn't know about them until I saw this freaking Starscream, and now I'm going down that rabbit hole because I want all of them now. So I didn't even know you had them. I've never seen you talk about them.
Yeah, no, I don't have space. No, I don't have space to display them. They're in my storage unit, which is very sad. I know, but I still buy them. I still, I still make sure that I get them just in case or when I will have space one day to display them. But my new love is the Bumblebee line. So all of the characters from the Bumblebee movie made by 3-0, they are going in the display. I have a space for them mapped out actually right next to me Power Rangers. As you can see, it's empty.
Oh, nice.
So that is where they will be going, next to the Power Rangers, Transformers, G.I. Joe. They're all going on that shelf because they're all kind of, loosely connected 90s era childhood stuff. So,
90s, I'll take that.
We'll take it.
We had cartoons on this morning for my daughter before school, and the Transformers cartoons were on, and she's like, I like Transformers now. And I'm like, yes, my child. Yes, join the dark side. My wife's like, oh my god, here we go. And
I was really offended recently. Actually, I spoke to someone who you probably know the type of person that I'm talking about when I tell you this, but he thinks he's so good. Anyway, we're talking about Transformers, and he had no idea about the DLX line. He's bought a few of them. He had no idea like what scales with what, and I was trying to educate him. And then I asked him like, oh, haven't you? Because he's trying to put Bumblebee with the War for Cybertron Optimus Prime from the Netflix series. And I was like, that's not the Prime to go with him, and the scale's going to be weird. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, haven't you seen Bumblebee? And he's like, oh, nah, man. So shit, I fell asleep. And I was like, what the fuck? And then he was like, oh, I guess you like Twilight too, ha ha ha. And I'm like, excuse me? Like,
how dare you?
Bumblebee is one of the most critically acclaimed Transformers movies. It's sitting at like an 80 to 90% Rotten Tomatoes rating, and audience score is through the roof. And you're comparing it to Twilight? Like, wow. Whoa. I was really offended.
They don't know what they're talking about.
Absolutely. I said, if you don't, I said, honestly, I don't even like this person. He's kind of a friend of a friend, and he's really rude and obnoxious and annoying. No, Jazzy, you all won't know him. He doesn't have a YouTube or anything. Like, just a guy, a collector guy. He's real rude and condescending. I don't like him at all. I don't even know why I was talking to him. But yeah, he was quite nasty about Bumblebee, and I'm like, you know what? Say what you will about Revenge of the Fallen, but Bumblebee is absolutely fantastic.
Bumblebee is an amazing movie, and Haley Steinfeld, I love her in Hawkeye too. Like,
so
she was
good.
Great in
She's
that.
great in Hawkeye. She's great in Dickinson. If you haven't seen Dickinson on Apple TV Plus, it's a great show.
I have not seen
Recommend
that.
it.
I have not seen that.
I like it.
Yeah.
Where's my money, man? Yeah,
where's my money? Yeah, well, mate. So what's he doing collecting them if he hates them? Like,
he's a flipper. He's a flipper. He doesn't buy any. He doesn't really keep any. He sells and I don't like him at all. Anyway, I do have to head off soon, or now-ish, because Steph is messaging me like, "Hey, when are we having lunch?"
We can wrap it up here, mate. That's all good. I was mindful of time, and we've gone 2 hours. Like, man, time flies. I really swear. Like, time really flies when you get into talking. I know, guys, we didn't do too much posing, but this show for me is more about getting.
We don't want to destroy him. We want to keep him pristine. Mine's starting to.
Well, when I saw that stick, I got scared. I got scared.
When his hands
I got scared. I'm like, please don't flake, because I love you. I love this. This is a grail for me. Please don't flake.
Yes.
I want it to stay pristine. But I really appreciate it, mate. I really do. I've had a great time chatting to you. I'm super pumped up to be a part of CollectorCon. So thanks for inviting me. That's awesome. Everybody at my work is gonna, like, they're gonna hate me because they hear about my collecting ventures all the time. So
really?
I'm the boss, so they have to listen, which is cool. So I'm just like, have you seen this? Look at this, do this. And I'll have like streams on while I'm doing my admin at work, so they have to listen. They have to listen to it as well. So I'll be definitely walking on the moon today for being a part of that. So I really appreciate it.
Nice.
And thanks for everybody for coming in the chat today as well. Thanks for showing up, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed these chats. That's something that I want to bring to the community more. It's a mission of me getting to know more people, because I don't have anyone in my normal life that's into this stuff. So the only way I can connect with people is by doing this, which is really fun for me. And I hope you guys enjoy it too. But yeah, like, is anything else that you want to add before we head off, mate? Or
No, I'm all good. I'm ready. I'm ready to go
good?
and eat some lunch now.
Oh yeah. I won't delve into it, but I know you're seeing Spider-Man Tuesday. I'm going Thursday, but we get to see
I'm seeing
it
it Tuesday.
before. Yeah, we get to see it before
A
the
friend
rest
of
of the
mine
world.
said, "Don't spoil it," and I'm like, "Oh, don't spoil it and ruin
Yeah.
my relationship with Sony forever just for the sake of." Of course,
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it. Even
Hell
if you
no.
paid me, I wouldn't tell you what happens in that
Hell
movie.
no. Hell no.
I
Never,
thought that
never
was quite
spoil it.
funny. I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
I
also,
could not. I
you
couldn't
always
and
get
I
upset when
wouldn't.
people do. Yeah, like you would
Absolutely.
never. You would never do that. I already know you'd never do that.
Even if you paid me, I would not tell you what happens in that movie. I promise you that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't worry.
Oh
There
man, I
will be
can't
no
wait.
spoilers from me. Yeah.
I cannot wait for it. I'm really looking forward to it. I just saw Tom Holland was on Hot Ones, and if you ever watch that show, I can't wait to watch that, because that Sean guy, he is a master interviewer, absolute master interviewer. So I'm looking forward to seeing Tom eat some hot wings. If anybody else out there watches Hot Ones, that's a cool show. You get to see celebrities die eating hot wings. So that's pretty funny. We won't be doing anything like that here. No hot wings near figures. No Cheetos. None of that near our figures. But yeah, thanks again, everybody, for being here. Thanks, Justin. You're an absolute legend. Until next time, guys, my little saying is live life, have fun, and keep posing. Until next time, guys, we're out. Peace out.